I probably should have asked you if you was ready.
I was just about to say a slur, a hurtful one.
A hurtful one. Are there different types? Are there non-harmful slurs?
Well, I mean, if I call
not
you a
the
basketball person, how does that make you feel?
not the peaceful slur.
Peaceful slur.
Come on, man.
How you doing today, my fellow basketball person?
How you doing today, my fellow hooper?
Non-derogatory. You got to say non-derogatory to make sure you know that this isn't coming from a hurtful place.
It's like, good morning, my fellow hooper. Complimentary.
I
He said,
wonder.
nah. He's saying you no ball.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you are black.
Hey.
Speaking of racism, yo, I know you don't really care because you don't really be watching Marvel movies like that, but I watched Secret Invasion last night, and
Is that a show?
yeah, they had
Right.
probably the funniest joke I've ever heard from a Marvel movie, maybe from any movie.
Mm,
Um,
that's interesting.
Nick Fury was in a bar in Russia. Dude was getting uppity with him. He said fucking and just bought him a drink and walked away to go talk to Maria Hill. And she's like, "Oh, getting chummy with the locals, huh?" And then she said, "How do you think we stopped the Cold War? Spooks like me buying shots for Russians." And then she said, "You can't say that." He said, "No, I can't. You can't."
No, it's fine for me to do it. It's just that's not. It's cool when I do it. It's a problem when you do it.
I wasn't expecting
Oh
black
yeah,
jokes from a
spooks in
Marvel
a
movie.
in a Marvel show or so whatever. Yeah, is that a movie or a show? I think I literally
it's
just
a
asked this, but
it's a show. Yeah, it's only 2 episodes out right now,
mm,
so
mm.
it's the new
Okay.
Marvel on the block right now. It just started.
Not the new Marvel on the block. I saw it the other day. I thought it was like out. I didn't know it was just dropping.
Yeah, it's dropping weekly. I don't think Disney Plus does the drop all thing that
Like the
Netflix does.
batch. Yeah.
I think every show that I've seen, they drop them weekly.
Mm-hmm. Well, shit. While we on the topic, might as well since we on the Marvel and DC type shit. You watched the Flash today, man. Yeah, go ahead. I know we mentioned it briefly, but go ahead. Give us your
Uh,
take on the Flash.
I liked it. What can I say that hasn't already been said by every other reviewer? Well, I mean, some niggas been either sucking the film or just being deviously hateful of it.
I
And,
haven't seen any suckage, but I've definitely seen a lot of hate.
I seen crazy suckage. Well, all the suckage I saw was before the movie came out. Like all of these
Ah,
directors and other actors are like, "This is the best superhero movie." I think I saw Stephen King tweet something like, "Wow, this is the best superhero movie I've ever seen." So like most of the suckage was probably just marketing. They probably paid these people to tweet
mhm.
these things.
I'm about to say for
Um,
100,000, boy, the Flash is the greatest movie I've seen since Casablanca.
literally. So I thought it was good. It was I was entertained. But it's not one of those movies where I'm gonna go back and watch it over and over again. Like I feel like it's a one and done. Like I got my enjoyment out of it. I don't feel the need to watch it again.
Hmm.
Um, Ezra Miller, even though they are a piece of shit, he was great in the movie. They were great in the movie.
Hmm.
Um, I liked the I liked the main villain. Um, I won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen the movie, but the main antagonist that set everything up was interesting. Um,
It's it's
Overall,
it's nigga Flash.
literally, yeah, pretty much. Um, I liked pretty much everything but the CGI. The CGI is definitely as bad as everybody says. Um, and I watched a bootleg version, so it was even worse. Yeah,
Wait, so what, the CGI was trash?
yeah, it was definitely bad.
Okay.
There was some
And,
scenes there it was like comically bad.
but I think that's the problem with a lot of these movies is that we're gonna see nothing but that moving forward because these studios don't have unions. Y'all are overworking the shit out of them. And I feel like the worst part that people fail to realize with a lot of the CG is like when movies do reshoots, like a normal movie, like a drama, like you can do a reshoot and like reshoot the scenes and all of that,
and it's fine. But
and it's
reshooting a
fine.
superhero movie,
But yeah, reshooting a movie that is almost, I wouldn't say entirely, but movies that are this reliant on CG is like, all right, we'll do a reshoot and then we have a 2 month timeline. And it's like, well, yeah, but you just reshot the last 30 minutes. You think I can render 30 minutes worth of CG in 2 months? Like, and because again, people think that shit is just quick. Like, it's just like, dog, no,
yeah, people have no
no.
idea what goes into it.
They were saying that like for at least for like the Into the Spider Verse, for example, or no, across the second one,
Yeah,
right? They were saying for that, like that took them years, like
yeah, just
four,
for
five.
one
Yeah,
scene.
that took them years to get all of that put together the right way, and they still slaved the hell out of those CG, like the people who are doing that CG. So it's like people are really failing, or not failing really, but I think people are going to start realizing because you're going to start seeing it in any movie that has CG, where it's like if it's heavily relying on CG, it's going to look like shit.
Yeah, because they just
Simply
can't treat it
because
anymore.
they can't, like, yeah, and it's a shame. Like I always hated shit like that because it's like it's a shame that they're gonna put in all that work. Because imagine the people who do it still work them 90-hour weeks and 80-hour, 70-hour weeks just for the shit to stink in the end because you are simply being asked to do something impossible.
Yeah,
Like I was like, yeah, that shit's gotta be demoralizing. Fuck for real.
you gonna
Um,
work it to the bone to get this movie out at a certain date, and then be mad when it looked like shit. When I didn't have a good timeline to work with.
they're
Like, come
like,
on.
yo, what is like, bro? I needed 6 months. You gave me a month and a half. Like, you got the bet? Honestly, you simply shouldn't have even got what I gave you in a month and a half. For real, for real.
Honestly, this could have been a lot worse. You should be
Yeah, like I
thankful.
don't even know how I got what I got. Like I gave it to you 60% complete, nigga. I shouldn't even be able to get there. Um, but yeah, so I think it's gonna be a lot of that. And it's a shame because some of these movies that are very reliant on it, it's just like, which again, not some of these movies, but a lot of the big box office films. And the other shit I hate though is that with a lot of these movies, these budgets are insane, and they'll have $290 million, $180 million budgets, and it's just like, dog, can I ask y'all something? Like, I watch James Cameron, right, work with them ungodly budgets, but I can see what he's spending his money on.
Yeah,
Where is y'all money going? Like, I know that this is all really a front for
marketing.
money laundering. Like, no, I think this is just money laundering. I think all of Hollywood is a big ass money laundering front.
Well, that too, but some companies literally be spending twice the budget that the movie was actually supposed to use on marketing. Like some
Yeah,
movies will have like $150 million budget just for the marketing, which is crazy. Just put the damn movie out.
which especially with some of these movies, I'm like, bro, like what, like y'all will spend 150 million, and it's like, and I still never heard of your movie until a week before it drops. So like,
Right.
what were y'all putting this on? What were y'all doing it for? Um, but yeah, that's just the part that blow mine. Like, I'm just like, dog, I just don't understand where this money's going. Like, somebody was talking about the new Indiana Jones movie, right?
Mhm.
And they were talking
There's a
about
new
these.
Indiana Jones movie.
uh,
Harrison Ford is like 90.
I don't even know. It's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It
Why?
came out literally yesterday. Literally yesterday.
Why does there need to be another Indiana Jones movie?
It's got Harrison Ford, Mads Mikkelsen, Antonio Banderas, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Shawnette Wilson. I don't know who that is. I don't know who the rest of these people are, but that's not the point. George Lucas is in this. What the hell?
I mean, he probably produced it or something. You know, him and Steven Spielberg are
Yeah,
best
he did the
buds.
story. Yeah, okay, he did the story. Yeah. But yeah, so they're making a new Indiana Jones movie, right? But then there were people like I even saw critiques of this movie that I thought were interesting because there's like a scene in the movie where there's a parade, right? And in the movie, it looks green screened. Like in the actual scene in the movie, it looks dead up green screened. But then there's people who took pictures at the parade in real life because it was a real life parade that they did on
Oh my!
location. And so it's like, but there's
So
something
it's the way
about
these niggas are shooting that's making
right.
it look worse than
It's
it
the
is.
way that they're shooting. It's like the filters and shit that they're applying to these movies. And I'm not sure. Did somebody set the precedent for y'all to do it this way? Like, why are
Who's
y'all?
yeah? I was about to say, whose fault is that? Like, because I know a director directs the movie, but there's other factors in the movie, like the cinematographer. Does the
Mhm.
director choose how shit is shot, or does he just give directions to the actors while they're on set? What does the cinematographer do?
I
Do they pick these filters?
I have no idea, and I think that like that's the part that's blowing my because I'm just trying to figure out what is it that is convincing y'all this is what we would like to see. Like, is it just like, oh, well, we just looked at a bunch of movies that were high grossing and this is what they had in common? Like, that's not surely that's not it, right? Like,
Surely that is 100%.
yeah, maybe so, right? But like that's the part I don't get because I'm just like, bro, like why do y'all keep shooting y'all movies like this? And then basically they were saying like so they do shit like that, but then it gets worse because they were talking about like there's a lot of different times where these movies like you can't tell where the money's going. You're looking
Yeah,
at it, and you're just like, dog. I watched a guy with 100 million make a movie that looks significantly better than this, and you will spend 190. Like, where did your money go? Hmm.
like you said, money laundering.
Yeah, somebody had to take their 10 off top. Somebody else took another 15.
Trust me, that money went where it was supposed to go. It wasn't supposed to go into the movie.
Mm-mm-mm. But shit, what else was I gonna say? I was gonna bring up what was I gonna bring up? Oh, the shit with Steam. I don't know if you saw this, but Steam basically put out a statement saying like they are banning all AI created games. Like if you have a game with AI created art assets or AI created text, they will ban that because they basically saying that you don't own the copyright to that content.
That's that's an interesting take.
And I think it's to me, I think it's a bit of a like I think they came up with the stance first and then the reasoning second. Like,
Yeah, because it's like, sure, I don't own the copyright to this, but nobody does. So what's the issue? You're not gonna
well,
get sued for it.
well, maybe you would because I think the problem with AI generated assets, both art and text, is that it's pulling from source material somewhere. You know, millions, billions of pieces of data points of
Yeah,
source. But the problem is, all it's going to take is for, let's say you write an AI generated story, right? And it comes out, and we're like, all right, cool, da da da, this and that. And then somebody somewhere starts saying, hey, this sounds a lot like my story. And then you compare the stories, and guess what? It sounds a lot like their story. They will now have a legal claim because they own that story. And
okay,
so
when you put it like that, yeah,
you can't prove like, and that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Now, the burden of proof of proving that, like, but that's the whole thing. I think when it comes to this, you don't have to prove that they knew and that it was malicious. No, I just have to prove that there's enough similarities to, and especially if I'm the copyright holder, if there's enough similarities to my shit, I will be able to order a cease and desist or some shit like that. And it's just like I could see that. I could
yeah,
see that. Because if you can't confirm that you own the rights to all of the IP, then because think about it, there was a data set that trained the AI. So if you don't own like now here's the thing. If you submitted your own shit to a data set and then the AI simply only worked off of the data set of your own shit, then you'd be fine. You'd be fine because you own everything that the AI pulled from. But of course, like if you just go on Chat GPT and say, yo, drop a story about X, Y, and Z, and you give them all the details, it's gonna pull from a bunch of other shit that you don't have the rights to.
yeah. That's facts.
So I thought this was interesting. I do think one, it's like because people were talking about how like some of the art websites had these same sort of issues. Like DeviantArt was one of the ones that they gave, but they were saying like DeviantArt, like once AI became like it got flooded with AI art, like flooded to the point to where like you don't know what it is and isn't AI art on the website anymore because it's just fucking flooded with it.
Yeah,
And you'll have a whole bunch of niggas claiming like, you know, and that's also the nastiest part about the AI part is that because of the backlash to it, so many people have been reduced to pretty much just lying that their shit's not AI art
yeah,
because it's like, well, I don't want to actually, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be seen as the nigga using AI art, but I'm gonna use AI art, but like da da da. And so I saw it the other day on Twitter. Literally, a guy drew some actual art for like a VTuber, and then people basically screamed that it was AI generated to the point to where like they
he
were
had
like,
to
"Great
break
shit."
down his whole fucking
Yeah, the process and
process.
it, like, and the niggas was shitting on him, cooking and shit, ratioing his posts and everything. I was like, yeah, this is a damn shame.
We're not even mad for that he's using AI art. Like, why are you shitting on this person and trying to ratio him? Even if it was, which it sounds like it wasn't, since they broke down the process and using Photoshop and everything. Like, what's the issue with using AI art?
Well, I mean, you already know. A lot of them niggas, it's just that it's purity. Like they're looking at it like, bro, I don't see you niggas aren't artists to me. Y'all are just typers. Which I mean, yeah.
Yeah, true, but at the same time, it's like I guess like you said, it's a purity thing because if a person this isn't their job, they're not an artist. Why the fuck would I care what a nigga typed in to make some art?
Well, well, that's the thing because some of these niggas are selling that AI art. And then
Okay,
that
yeah, that's
becomes the exact same thing Valve just said. Nigga, you do not own the assets this AI was trained on.
yeah. See,
And,
selling
and you don't
AI
even
art is
know.
crazy.
You don't even know what assets the AI was trained on, truthfully. Because how would you? Nigga, you have no access to Mid-Journey's pool of, you know what I mean? You don't know what they're using to train the fucking AI. Because they could be pulling from anywhere and you just wouldn't know.
Yeah, selling AI art is crazy because I'm thinking about remember that trend from last year where you would like it was some AI site where you would put in a word or a phrase or a story and then it would come up with those pictures. I think you
Mhm.
made some like truly horrendous abominations in that.
Yeah,
That's just
right.
I can't picture selling that because you literally didn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah. And yet, I think if you get nice enough with it, like you can start to figure out, all right, there's markets for this type of like because they are that's what people do. They'll surf DeviantArt, look at the shit that's selling, look at the shit that's hot, look at the shit people are checking on, and try to find a way to recreate that. So of course, as an artist, I would automatically look because it's like you're approaching this from a business perspective where it's like, all right, let me look at DVR. What's the number one, number two, and number three things that niggas check on? Okay,
Yeah.
and anime hoes, anime titties, boo boo blah blah blah. Then cool, I'll go back to my AR. Hey, look, no hands, no feet, because the AI be
Hmm.
fucking that up. But then like, let's get the anime titties go. And then so now, mind you, I'm a nigga who create AI anime or not AI. I create anime hoe art and I'm making a good good little bag off of this. Nothing crazy, right? But like even if it's something like a couple hundred a week off of this, I do 2 or 3 of these a week. I make a couple hundred a week. Like that ain't gotta be nothing crazy. I'm talking 10, 15,000 a year. It's like now you are encroaching on money in other motherfuckers. So that's why I think a lot of the people because even if you're not selling it, a lot of people are just looking it through, following the thing all the way through to its logical conclusion,
Hmm.
which is that some people are going to start selling this shit, is going to outsell or move around and get the other shit like mm-mm, mm-mm. So I definitely could see that.
Yeah, when
Uh,
you look at it from those optics, and like you said, if you take it to its logical conclusion, I can see why people want to stamp it out quick before it spreads. But I feel like we're already there. Niggas, it's already happening.
yeah, I mean they're still gonna take that stance just off the strength, but yeah, we are already there for real, and we're
Like
not
this,
there yet. There, uh, because it's gonna get worse. But yeah.
I feel like you say it's gonna get worse, but I feel like it's already pretty bad. I was on IG yesterday, and when you go to the search section, it just shows a bunch of random IG pages, right?
Hmm.
Um, one of the pages that came up was a page that was dedicated to AI generated buff pregnant anime characters.
AI generated buff pregnant anime character. See, you see what I'm saying? Now imagine being the only buff pregnant anime drawer, and
No.
I'm dead serious. Imagine being that guy, right? And you that dude, dog. Just I want one of y'all. I want y'all murked. Like, what you mean, bro?
What
This
makes it
no, he
worse,
not even drawing the buff pictures. That's not
this
even what a
page had like 17,000 followers too. That's the worst part. So like niggas wanted to see this
that is so
truly
crazy.
devious behavior.
Send me the link
Niggas
so I
want
can see what they like, what they just for studying to see what they talking about. Cause that's crazy.
hmm.
So crazy to me.
Am I not my brother's keeper? Why would I subject you to such terrible just no, I can't do that to you.
Oh,
No.
come on. That's never stopped you before.
No, I'm gonna bear this burden alone just for me. You're welcome.
Nigga said once in the fourth grade, this guy got a 2% on his quiz, so everyone called him Milk for the rest of the year.
That's hilarious, but how the fuck you get a 2%, bro?
That nigga got 1 out of 50 questions right.
That's insanity.
But yeah, so yeah, we'll see with that AI generated shit and all of that. Best of luck to y'all. But let's I don't know. Let's we talking about AI generation, right? Hmm, I don't see any good jumping points here. So what do we want to get into first? We got a lot of serious shit on here.
Um,
We got some fun
talking
shit as
about
well.
AI, let's just make the jump over to Twitter. I'm pretty sure there's some AI going
Yeah,
on in
well,
Twitter.
I'll tell you what. So for those of you who are not Twitter users or haven't been on Twitter today, uh Twitter is cooked. And hold on, I'm pulling up the words of the wise guy who runs the site.
Wise, man, shut up.
So yeah, so anyway, what was happening earlier today where we were having these issues where pretty much you would see rate limit exceeded on a whole bunch of posts. Shits wouldn't load, your dash wouldn't load, people's profiles wouldn't load, so on and so forth. Normal Twitter shit since Elon took over, right? And then Elon puts a tweet out, basically saying to address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits, right? Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day. Unverified accounts are limited to 600 a day. New unverified accounts to 300 a day. Now, one, these viewing limits are utterly dog shit. Because you know how fast you will run through 600 tweets, especially on your For You page?
That's what I
Consider,
was trying to figure out. Do you have to
considering like 50% of the tweets are buns anyway.
do you have to click on the tweet to consider it being read, or is it just literally scrolling through the timeline? You see
I
600
couldn't,
tweets and then it's over.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you, but a couple things. One, the part that blew me the most about this was for a nigga who is trying to sell advertisements on a website, limiting the amount of posts people can read is pretty funny. Um,
See, that's the part that I was going to bring up because I saw somebody had an interesting theory that being that Elon is a dumbass shithead, they were fucking around with the API
I saw that.
and messed something up. And this is all just kind of a cover because his ego won't let him admit that he fucked something up.
And don't get me
And
wrong, yeah,
eventually he's gonna
renege, yeah,
yeah, eventually he's gonna say, due to backlash, we're walking this back. When really he just fucked something up in the first place because he's a dumb shithead
yeah.
dick piece. I fucking hate this man.
And I could very much see that, right? And then there was something else that I saw that I think it kind of just fits in with that same exact theory, but it was I want to find the exact thing, but to make a long story short, hold on, let me see if I can look it up. Google. It involved Google, right?
Hmm.
Okay, here we go. So apparently there was in 2018, Twitter signed a $1 billion contract with Google to host some of its services on the company's Google Cloud servers. Twitter recently refused to pay the search giant ahead of the contract's June 30th renewal date. Think about it. That was yesterday. The problem
Yeah,
started this morning, right?
yeah. Oh
So
my god.
Twitter is reportedly rushing to move as many services off of Google's infrastructure before the contract expires, but the effort is, quote, running behind schedule.
Oh, so in their rush, in their haste, somebody did something they wasn't supposed to do, and it's fucked up.
hmm So I definitely think that combined with sort of exactly what you were saying, where it's like we switched over contracts because we didn't want to pay Google no more, da da da, this and that. And knowing we had the renewal date, again, apparently we were not moving shit off the way we should have been, da da da. Now we're behind schedule, and damn, guess what? Now we're cooked. Like now we're cooked. So it's just this is what I mean when I say, and it's funny because me and my girl was talking about something yesterday, and I was you ever like have a whole discussion with somebody, and then you think of a question midway through it, and you find out that's the question, like, oh man, I if I had this question to begin with, we would have got so much further.
Yeah.
Um, this is a scenario where I can't help but think this is purposeful. Truthfully, I understand that Elon Musk is an idiot. I understand Elon Musk is incompetent. He is inept. He does run businesses, I wouldn't say into the ground, but he doesn't run them well. Right? So I get all of that. And believe me, you know me. I'm the I'm the second biggest Elon hater. I'll put it that way. Right? But it's just like for the life of me, I can't genuinely believe these aren't deliberate moves that, I think you're like,
But if it was deliberate, this this is idiotic even for Elon because, like you said
mhm,
originally, why would advertisers be happy with their ads being shown to less people? This is like a death blow for advertising
mhm,
on Twitter if it's deliberate.
right. But that's what I'm getting at because I don't believe Elon Musk bought Twitter to make money off of it.
Okay, talk to him.
And I've said this. I mean, people have had the theory that he bought it to just destabilize a website this much importance globally. And I mean, that's not shocking considering you had Saudi Arabians, China, you had a lot of the countries that get involved with that type of shit that wanted to purchase this, right?
Yeah,
So that's not shocking to me. But for me, once I put that theory like in place with everything else that I'm seeing, it then becomes like, okay, well, part of that is looking like an idiot. That's like because here's the thing. I'm either A gonna look like an idiot who's just running this into the ground because I'm a dummy, or B, I'm going to look like the person who is literally just running this into the ground. And I would take the second one because it still leaves room for like, well, it was never my intent, but it just happened to happen, right?
yeah, you got some plausible deniability.
Right. And so it's one of those things where it's just like I just don't believe because everyone knows. And again, I know this. So if ordinary people who make 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a year know this, I promise you the guy who makes billions who bought the company for billions also knows. It. Now whether he gave a fuck or not is a different story. But he has to know you don't make money off of social media platforms.
Hmm.
Social media platforms is literally about like reputation laundering. It's just a way, like it's just one of those things where now everything comes through you, right? So people have to meet you. So it's like if you've never like put it this way, if you was a super billionaire, right? And you was big in these certain billionaire circles, but like, maybe you was in a niche industry that like, all right, well, cool. You made your billions off of like basket weaving. So it's like, my nigga, yeah, you're a billionaire, but like you have the basket weaving billionaire connections. You know what I mean? So it's like you buy Twitter and then now you buy it not to make money, right? But you buy it because, all right, you know what? This will open me up to the other billionaire circles that I'm supposed to be in. Now,
Right.
granted, I don't think Elon Musk necessarily needs that either.
That's what I was about to say because
He
like
doesn't
I
need
feel
that.
like he's in the circle of billionaires he need
So
to be in.
exactly. So if I'm already in the circle and I know this is a thing that doesn't make money, why do I buy it anyway? Like that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I can't just attribute that to you're an idiot. I can't. I can't just attribute that to you're fucking stupid because you're not that stupid. You're not that stupid. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And it's not because I think billionaires just can't be stupid. No. I just don't think that's a play you make when you're stupid.
Right.
As a billionaire, I don't think that's the play that a dumb billionaire in Elon's position would make. There's other plays you'd make that would be stupid. I just don't think it's this one. So that's the part that's kind of blowing me where I'm like, I feel like this is intentional. And like you said, it's a just enough plausible deniability to where people will think I'm just stupid or I'm just bad at running my business. And granted, because and I'm the perfect guy for it, right? Because I have that track record. When you hear the stories of what I did at SpaceX, when you hear the stories of what I was doing at Tesla, I have the track record of being the disruptor, the guy who comes in the room and doing the stupid shit and do the so it's like it only makes sense that I do it. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Like I think this is in service of a lot of different things. I think this is an easy way to get yourself into a lot of folks' pockets. And either way, man, I don't know. We're probably gonna have to find a new site soon enough. I'll tell you that much.
I've been talking to the creators of Black Planet, talking to them about bringing it back.
Not Black Planet, bro.
I damn sure not going to Facebook. So
I'm bringing back Zanga.
Zanga.
I'm bringing back Zanga, bro. We good.
I'm bringing back Tagged.
You said what?
You never heard of Tagged?
TAGT? Is that what it is?
Tagged.
Mm-mm. Never heard of
Um, down bad, horrendous place. Don't even bring it up.
that. But yeah, no, I never heard of that. But yeah, man. So I mean, we'll see. And I also think a lot of the like a lot of the destabilizing of Twitter, it benefits a lot of shit, right? Because when you got all these riots in France and all this other stuff going, like, granted, you're still hearing about that on Twitter now, But it's like I think we'll get to that point to where think about it. Because the Twitter goes down, truth be told, there's a lot of shit you're not gonna see.
Yeah. Niggas
Be
don't watch
honest,
the
like
news anyway, so
yeah,
they get
because
the news from Twitter most of the time.
the news wouldn't even cover a lot of this. Like, perfect example is when I heard about some of them like trucker strikes and shit like that, dog, that wasn't on CNN, that wasn't on MSNBC, that wasn't on Fox, probably even. That wasn't anywhere. I saw it on Twitter and I didn't see it anywhere else. So it's like there are news items that you're only gonna see on certain types of news platforms. And again, because Twitter was an aggregate platform where I can come here and get news from anywhere and everywhere, which is a gift and a curse. But the gift is I can hear about shit I will never hear from these people that I check in with. You know what I'm saying? Like if you open your Google News app, there's the shit they tell you and the shit you're gonna get on Twitter is still not the same.
Yeah, the way that I found out about the protests in France was from a One Piece page that I follow. They're they're French and they were posting One Piece memes about the situation.
And you like, what is going on? I don't
Yeah,
remember
and
this
then
episode.
and I started searching. I'm like, they are getting alive over there. There
So,
was
oh.
a bunch of protesters got arrested and they stormed the jail and was breaking niggas out of jail. So they posted screenshots from when Luffy broke out of jail. Like that's I learned this information from a One Piece shit poster. It's
did you did you
Twitter's a
see
beautiful place.
did you see the video where it's like these three dudes and they masked up and they kind of quiet, the camera flips and it's just the elephant staring them in the face? I was just like, what are y'all doing? Y'all not even protesting no more, for real. Like,
Y'all just having a good time. And honestly, even outside the protest, whenever I see videos of niggas in France, it's just always some wild shit going on.
nah, that shit where it's like the UK Snapchat and like French Snapchat, that shit is so funny because it's dead ass true. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, nah. So I mean, so literally, anyway, the protest kickoff because there was a 17-year-old, I believe. Well, he was black, but I'm trying to think. I think he was like North African. But a 17-year-old child was shot by the police out there. And as you know, France, if it's one thing they will do is protest. They got to it. And I think they've been protesting for like what 3-4 days now.
Yeah.
And it's been and don't get me wrong, like a lot of people were talking about the situation in France and how they feel like um the government kind of didn't do their job and it inevitably led to this. And I just think so much of it is we're seeing the same shit in every country. It's this trend of like neoliberalism where it's like I'm just gonna do nothing in the face of like overwhelming conflict or something. I'm just gonna do
Yeah.
nothing. I'm just not gonna do shit. I'm just gonna like, and that's my thing. Like, if there's all these issues going on in other places that migrants are fleeing their countries and coming to France, right? You'll then, all right, let's set these people up in a bunch of spots in France, and that'll be it. That'll be it. Like, you are introducing these people to a whole new world, whole new life. They are Muslim mostly, so it's that's already a whole different vibe. And then you're introducing them into communities that fucking hate them. Like,
Literally.
most importantly, like, the people there hate them. The people there treat them like shit. And it's like, because I've seen people like, well, these people don't want to be French. They don't want to be European. That's not how they see themselves. And I'm like, well, how could they see themselves that way? Like, I'm not
Y'all won't
saying,
let them see themselves
right.
that way.
And truth be told, think about it. If I lived in America for 25 years and I just moved somewhere else, I don't see myself as the somewhere else until I'm here for a while and I feel like I'm here for
Yeah.
real. Like, I've been in America for 29 years, dog. If I move right now to Canada, I'm not gonna feel like I'm a Canadian for real, even after a year. Like I might feel a little welcome or whatever, but if I feel unwelcome, oh, it definitely ain't gonna happen.
Hell no, yeah.
And so that's what it was because a lot of people complain like they were getting like free housing and they were getting this and they were getting that. And it's like all that shit is great, honestly. And that's more than I would expect from the American government. But the problem is it's not necessarily like that's part of it. It's just part of what's necessary, but it ain't the whole thing because realistically, you have to find a way to either A, and I wouldn't no, not even A. You have to find a way to make room for these cultures to exist alongside the predominant culture. You can't go for assimilation. That's not going to work. That's not gonna work. And I think that mistakenly is what they've tried. Like they just tried bringing niggas in, and y'all will blend into our culture. Dog, they're these are African Muslims who are now in France. Like, like dog, they have a whole culture, and they're not adjusting. It's not gonna happen. I mean, mind you, how many times do we see in America? I've seen folks who like immigrants, folks like grandparents, great grandparents, immigrant family, all together, bro. They're living the exact same way they was. Still ain't
Yeah.
learned English 40, 50 years later. Like, I'm just like, dog, I promise you, like, that assimilation is not gonna be it.
Why
And
do
so,
you? I don't understand why they even want them to assimilate. Why not just let them be themselves?
well,
Y'all brought them there.
the problem is they're aware enough of how racist their country is, so they know that that won't work. But
So if
again,
you're aware of how racist your company, why don't you?
because in the face of overwhelming conflict, you do nothing. You do nothing.
It's all tying back together. Sadly,
Like, and that's the thing. Like, and so it's just like now you have all these issues because people do this shit all the time, and it's just like, don't get me wrong, like I can understand, like, you lived here, and now folks who have an entirely different culture are now in your neighborhood, and y'all gotta live. I understand that can be contentious. Like, it's going to be contentious, especially when racism's involved. But it's like if you as a government are not pretty much like it has to trickle down from the top. Like if you are not making it clear that listen, dog, we accepting this influx of folks, we gonna make sure this culture feels welcome here. So y'all African Muslims, cool. Like because I think people are giving examples. Like the funniest part is the countries that they were one of the countries that was an example of us, getting folks in well was Russia in certain parts, which I thought was actually pretty ironic.
yeah.
Um, but it was like in certain parts of Russia, like they'll have like whole laws set up to where like, all right, look, cool, y'all adhere to this. We're gonna have laws set up to where y'all can get that off. Y'all gonna have explicit times for this. You can do that. You're gonna have your 30-minute break. You need to pray 5 times a day. Boom, we're gonna have prayer rooms and every time. Do. We're gonna have halal centers and it's halal food in every cantina and do and like all of that type of shit. But it's like if you just bring them here, drop them off, give them a house and a stipend for food, good luck.
Yeah, like what are you expecting to happen?
They're just gonna. It's like because now you're in a foreign place where no one likes you, and so guess what, nigga, you're gonna end up hating these people. That's the only way this will play out. I'm in a foreign place. These niggas look at me like I'm a freeloader because they look at you. You getting a stipend and you got free housing and they don't fucking work for anything and it's like nigga, damn, I'm just fleeing conflict. What the
I
fuck?
was about to say, I know this is all about racism and xenophobia, but how do you not have like how do you complain that these people are in this situation? They're literally fleeing for their lives. Have some compassion, some empathy.
Compassion, he says. Empathy, he says.
Like these niggas are coming from war torn countries and you're worried about them getting a stipend. Nigga, their whole lives have been displaced and they're in a country full of niggas that hate them.
Yeah, word. Like, come on, dog. Like. And not to mention, even like, think about the choices. Think about what's happening to where you will willingly choose to leave your country. Like, even the niggas who weren't forced out, for the niggas who are like, bro, we've lived here all our lives, we gotta go. Like, this is all I know. Like, you know what I mean? You might be grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Like 40, 50, 60-year-old niggas. It's like, look, bro, this is all I know. I raised kids here. My kids got kids. We gotta go.
That's
We
a
gotta go.
crazy thought. Like your whole life, 70 years, and shit gets so bad that you gotta leave. Just uproot your whole
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
But no, they're getting a stipend. Fuck them.
Yeah, oh yeah, nah, cool. They're getting a stipend, and the stipend probably again is just enough. But yeah, no,
Probably
I hear you.
less than enough.
Well, yeah, I about to say, I mean, knowing governments, it probably ain't enough. But yeah, so that's why I'm just like, bro, y'all niggas is crazy, man. Like y'all, but it's a lot of that shit when niggas do this shit with, and I'm just like, bro, I'm telling you, don't. For as much as Americans talk about leaving this country, don't do that. Don't do that. I know this is a whole different thing, but like the way niggas treat immigrants here, and I'm like, every time the Supreme Court open their mouths, y'all niggas talk about moving somewhere. Every fucking time. I don't want to hear it from you niggas. Because y'all are begging to be the immigrants in someone else's country. So, all right.
Not to mention, like we just been talking about France, the UK, most of Europe, absolutely treat immigrants like shit, like worse than we treat them, honestly.
Oh yeah. Italy is real bad at
Italy,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Italy, Greece. Greece just had a boat full of immigrants that they shipped off because they didn't want them, and they ignored distress calls from the ship as it was capsizing. So they let hundreds of people drown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the way they see it is, but if I save them, then I gotta take them in.
Yeah, literally.
Like, can I save him and just leave him there?
Let me patch up the boat and have them go on where they're going. You
Like,
know.
no. What we gonna do is we gonna get an empty boat and then just like shoot it at them, and then they jump onto the empty boat and then they just do what they do from there. But if they come here, we not gonna let them in.
Sick shit.
Really sick shit. Almost as sick as the LAPD secret homeless cleanup task force.
That
Hmm. Yeah,
that
kind of like, yeah, something like just it's for the bitches, really.
transition, man. That's work of art, honestly.
Hmm. But yeah, so the LAPD, the famous LAPD, essentially had a statement, right, where they were planning to arrest the homeless folks on the 29th, so that was 2 days ago, in Woodland Hills with like a a quiet task force, like a hush hush task force, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Did they put out an official statement? Because what I saw was a
they
leaked
did,
email.
yeah, they did. So
Okay.
after there was a leak email that pretty much said this. The leaked email was, "Good morning, all. I want to let you know that was scheduled cleanup with sanitation will take place. Everyone will be arrested and their belongings will be taken away by sanitation." That's already nuts to me. Like I don't know
It's
how
just
that just
straight
don't
up
sound wild
evil.
to you. So
These
as
is
always, do not approach these individuals. I want to make sure all are there at the encampment on the 29th so I can arrest them. Like make sure everybody here for real. So the LAPD then releases a statement where they pretty much said they called the language of that email highly inappropriate.
but
Right.
not the act that y'all are gonna take.
Oh no, the act is fine.
Oh, okay. I just
But
wanted to check. Make sure. Yeah.
they called the email highly inappropriate, right? They postponed that cleanup. And the wildest part though, right, is I can't figure out what the acronym stands for, but it's called CARE, like CARE
Oh,
plus.
y'all are sick.
And I'm
Going to
yeah.
go
I'm
to
just like,
hell.
and I don't know if I don't know, maybe it's not an acronym. I don't know. Let me see. CARE plus LAPD. Let me look this up. Honey, I don't give a fuck. I don't think they can't. I don't know what CARE plus is. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so they released a statement pretty much saying that da 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 and all of that shit, right? It's pretty much email coming out. Oh, we pussy, we scary. And yeah, so obviously it looks like they got caught and they're trying to sweep this under the rug. But it's just like one thing I'll say is the LA between the LAPD and the NYPD, I don't know who got it for real. I don't really know who got. They having an abuse off.
And abuse. I
Like
say,
I,
LAPD's been on a roll lately. Remember that the whole fireworks situation that blew up?
hmm I do remember that.
Yeah, LAPD. I think they got it. Um, the New York, the NYPD though, they got more volume. Um,
I'm more volume.
it's
they're
like
volume. They're volume shooters.
the LAPD has what is it, quality over quantity. They have more quality acts of terror. Um,
Oh,
NYPD, they just be posted up everywhere, getting niggas for any little. I mean, they started stop and frisk. I mean, they had these posted up in
uh-huh.
subways everywhere. There's like whole threads on Twitter of just different cops trying to look like they're not cops, and you can obviously tell they're
I
cops.
hate that shit. That should be so funny.
So it's like I said, it's a quality LAPD got it, quantity NYPD got it. Um, wasn't LAPD involved in dismantling the Black Panther Party? Because the Black Panther Party was founded in
Um,
Oakland, so I would imagine
I'm
that.
sure that they were. Yeah, I'm sure they were.
Yeah, so if we having an abuse of, I got to give it to the LAPD, hands down.
I'm sure the NYPD got something though. Like, let me see something. Uh,
Well, I mean, they remember
'Cause I
that
know
one
that.
cop choked out Eric Gardner.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm thinking like I know the mob was heavy in New York, so like I'm thinking
Oh
like
yeah.
back in that era. Like that's what I mean. It's like we really want to get into it. Like,
I mean, if you think about it, most of the RICO charges that rappers face, I mean, they're mostly for niggas in New York and gang activity.
yeah. Oh, look at this. Two former NYPD detectives who secretly worked as mafia associates sentenced to life imprisonment for
Damn.
racketeering, committing 8 murders, 2 attempted murders, obstruction of justice, distribution of money laundering, disclosing sensitive law enforcement information.
God damn.
So yeah, I don't know. What was it? Stephen Caracappa. It's always an Italian nigga for real. Louis
Talk
Eppolito.
to him.
Yeah, this what I mean. Man, I'm gonna chill.
No, no, let the people know, yo.
He said, nah, I ain't gonna do it. What else we got on here? Probably should have did this when we were covering the Marvel shit. But I'll get back to that later. So where
What?
do we want to go from here? I was gonna talk about Bird Box
Oh yeah, I'm actually excited about that.
or the Bear, any of that shit.
Yeah, we could just round that all off in one go later.
All right. Shoot, where do we start? I guess we got two music items, so let's do music for a second. Um, well, you can take this Playboy Cardi thing away because I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what this is. So,
Oh, it wasn't. It was just Playboy Cardi. There was a concert or something. I don't know. Was it South by Southwest? I don't know what it was, but Nardwuar was there to interview the artist, and Playboy Cardi was just being a dickhead. And so everybody was jumping on Playboy Cardi. Everybody's like, "Don't disrespect Nardwuar," and they've been on Cardi head top.
it's funny that they'd be on his head top for this and not choking his pregnant girlfriend.
Niggas were saying that too, like, "Damn, y'all are y'all going hard over this, but y'all didn't really say shit about any of the other shitty things Playboy Cardi's done."
Yeah. Plat.
I mean, because niggas love Nardwuar and niggas hate women, so I mean, why would I say
Well,
anything about him choking his pregnant baby mama?
well, there you go.
Yeah.
And speaking of niggas who like to put their hands on the ladies, we can talk about this other freak who dropped an album. Take it away.
Yeah. That was a hell of an introduction for a little Uzi Vert.
I mean, is he not a little freak?
He definitely a little freak. No, that's freak bull for sure. But his album, man, when I'm telling you, it's like that. It's it's like that. It's I liked it better than Thug and Gunner's album.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it was he also had more songs than both of them. He had like I want to say like 26 songs, whereas Gun only had like 14 or 15. And out of those 26, I could listen to 20, no skipping.
Huh. Well, I'm glad this is your take. Because I was gonna come in here and say this album fucking stinks.
Ooh yeah, let's go. Let's
So,
go.
yeah, I'm glad that's your take. Because I got to let me count because I didn't finish the whole thing. I got about I want to say halfway through. I got through at least 10 songs. I made it to
Mhm.
let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I got through 16 songs. Well, 17, because I heard that one on Twitter. Of the 17 songs I got through, I think I would say that of the 17, only 4 were even listenable for me.
What were the
Eh,
four?
I would have to let's look. I think I liked.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, for sure.
I think Nakamura was one of the ones I liked.
Okay.
Um, I can't remember. I think it's Died and Came Back. Maybe I don't know if that's the one I liked.
Oh yeah, it probably is Died and Came Back because that I think that's my favorite song on the album.
That might have been it. And then I think like Spin Again, maybe, or was it Spin Again or Fire Alarm? Maybe I don't know. It was one of those.
Mhm.
But um, I didn't enjoy anything I heard.
What
I
didn't you like about the song?
I just well one I mean I just think I do not do well with the yelling shit.
Mhm.
I was not off of that when Trippie Redd did it ever.
Oh yeah, so this
Or when
I can
Playboy
see why you
Cardi
wouldn't
does it.
be. Yeah, if you going from that approach, I understand why you wouldn't like this album then.
Yeah. And a lot of people
Especially in the
talk
back half, because the back half he goes
it's
like
probably more
almost
rock. Yeah,
full
yeah,
rock
yeah.
star. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the thing, because it's funny because like I know a lot of people are like, oh well, it's like the rock influence. It's like dog, listen. I've listened to rock music. I don't actively listen to rock music now, But if a nigga makes good rock music and it's a nigga making it, I probably would enjoy it. I
Mhm.
don't feel like I enjoy this. I don't think it's because I have an apprehension to rock music. I just don't think it's for me.
Yeah.
Like, um, so that was part of it. I think the other part was, I mean, the lyrics weren't anything special. There were only a few features, and again, I didn't get to the Baby Metal or the Bring Me the Horizon feature. I got to the Nicki one and the Travis Scott, and they were both useless to me. Like the Nicki song was arguably my least favorite song I've heard from either of those two artists. Like from both Little Uzi and Nicki Minaj. Like I think that is like that's actually 100% the worst Nicki Minaj verses I've heard. I don't know if that's what it is about Uzi. I don't know if it's the worst Uzi I've heard because I've heard a lot of Uzi songs I don't like,
Mhm.
but I think that song kind of blew mine. I was like, I can't believe this is this. Like it got to a point where I was about a minute and a half into that Nicki song, and I was just like, surely there's not that much left, right? Th- Like like there's got to be less than a minute. Like maybe the song's 2:20 or something. That bitch was like 4 minutes long or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
bro, this can't be it. It keeps
Now,
going.
I'm gonna say something. Um, I'm in total opposition to that. I actually really like that song,
Oh
and you
man.
know how painful that is for me to say as a vivid and avid Nicki Minaj hater.
That's
It
so
pains me to
crazy.
say that I actually like the song. And you know I'm telling the truth if I say I like it because like I
No,
said, I hate
I
Nicki
know.
Minaj, so
That's
I
just so
really
crazy
fuck
to
with
me.
that song.
I have no idea. I like, and that's why it's like this is definitely one of those things where like, because I've seen like I heard a lot. I saw very polarizing opinions, right? Like I saw people
Mhm.
who were like, "Yo, this shit is doo doo, like hot caca," and then I seen people like, "Yo, like this is magnum opus." This I was like, "Wow." I don't know how. I don't know how. I'm like, bro, I heard Eternal Take. I can't honestly say this is even sniffing like this can't be in the same room as Eternal Take for me. Like
Yeah,
I don't see it. Like one, it's a different album, like in terms of sonically. It's a
yeah.
significantly different album. So I think that's why it's hard to make the comparison. But even if you just compare, I don't know. I don't know. I would have to see what other niggas are seeing in this to even be able to understand it because I just don't feel like I get it. Like it's
Mhm.
just one of those things where I'm just like, this doesn't I don't get it. I don't understand what we're doing here.
Once we get off the pod, you should ask Reef because we was both listening to it. I know he fuck with it too.
Mm,
Um,
mm. Well, that part doesn't surprise because Reef was one of the dudes who fucked with Trippy Red way before I did, and he tried to put me on that nigga, and I
oh
consistently
yeah,
wasn't off of that shit. Um,
yeah. I'm a Trippy Red fan too.
no,
So
you know what's funny? I there was a point in time where I thought Trippy Red was dog shit, like garbage, and then I
I think I
literally
remember you
heard,
saying that.
yeah, and I heard verses from him where I'm like, wait, hold on, this nigga can rap for real. And so then like I kind of sort of fucked with it, and then I heard a little bit more from it, and then it made me mad again because I'm like, so you're just
Don't you just
choosing
do
to
this
do this
all the
shit.
time? Yeah, exactly. So if you don't like that style or that type of music, that's totally fine.
Yeah, and
But
that's probably really what it is because
yeah,
I don't like when Cardi does it. I don't like Uzi doing like
Udi.
some people will be Udi he is little Udi vert, but because some people will be like, oh well, like all this is just a copy of X, it's a copy of Y, it's a copy of Z, like it's a copy of these other people. I'm like, bro, I don't even like who the originator, quote unquote. Like
Yeah.
I don't like none of this shit. To be frank with you, like I don't know what. Like again, that's my thing where I just think a lot of this is probably what it's something newer because I fuck with niggas like Yeet. I can listen to Yeet. I've heard a few songs from some of them other niggas. I don't know the rest of them. I wouldn't fucking know them niggas'
Yeah.
names.
No, no
But
way.
I've heard a few of those niggas who make that like Yeet-esque music where I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. I don't have a problem with this. I just don't.
I think it's just because Yeet. I feel like he makes a similar style of music to like Cardi, Trippy Red, and Uzi, but he don't have the same. He doesn't yell like they be yelling. And like you said, you don't like the yelly, screamy music. So like he has the same vibe as they do, but he packages it and presents it differently.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Like a lot of it's gonna be presentation for me because I have that with a lot of artists. Like there was times, man, especially back in the day, like there were Drake songs now that I look back on and I'm like, yeah, them bitches is hard. Like But back then, like, I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear you fucking moping, Drake. Like,
Hmm.
that's just not what I see you as. And so for me, I know that that's kind of probably what it is because it's like, for example, it's Whole Lot of Red. I thought Whole Lot of Red was decent. There was some songs that I really liked. But I thought as a whole, I just didn't think it was enough. Like I was just like, this
Yeah.
is nowhere near enough quality. Like it's enough songs, but then when you actually go through the quality of the songs, I'm like, bro, I'm pulling like 5 or 6 songs from this. A full
I'm in
album.
total agreement with that. Honestly, hey,
Yeah, I was like, bro, I'm only pulling 5 or 6 songs, and of the 5 or 6, I really like maybe 2 or 3. Like, so it's like some of these are just here because again, they're tolerable.
yeah.
Like, there's Uzi songs up here that I'm gonna pick off, and I'm probably gonna maybe grow to like a little bit more. But to me, none of these songs were like, oh, that's my ooh, like I didn't get that once through the first 17, and I felt the way about that because I was just like, nigga, I know what that I had that feeling before for an Uzi record, for Uzi
It's
record.
I'm genuinely sad for you because I had that feeling when I was listening to it, and so
Yeah,
my heart breaks when niggas not getting that feeling, especially if a person like it's an artist that you actually like and you want to like the music and you don't like it. It's
yeah. I'm gonna say,
so
and
bitter.
I listened to like Uzi was a nigga I did again, another nigga I didn't like early on, but like I I fucked with Uzi shit. By the time he dropped that shit with a XO Tour Life on it, I was like, okay, this nigga tough. I fuck with him. I
Hmm.
fuck with him.
But
But
see,
yeah.
why? So like, why did you like EXO Tour Life, but not? Because it's the same type, kind of, right?
Yeah, the song. Like, well, XO Tour Life just got played a million times, so you just learned to like it. But I mean, like that
Oh,
album, there was a lot of
oh, okay. I
variety.
thought
I
you were talking
felt
about
like,
the song. Yes, the album. I know exactly what you mean. There, yeah.
yeah, there was a lot of like, and that's what I feel like. I almost feel like this is one speed,
Hmm.
and that's my problem with artists like Uzi because when you go one speed and then it's the one speed I don't like, oh man, I can't do much. There's not much I can do. Like, because if you would, because think about it, it's 26 songs. So if you had picked a bunch of different pockets to get in, I promise you, I'm finding 6 or 7 songs, 8 songs I like. But then when it's one lane that I don't like, and then it's 26 songs, and they pretty much all like they're, I wouldn't say they all fit in the same lane, but at least 20 of them probably do.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, well, I might just have to sift through this and find the 2 or 3 I can live with. Like,
I'd say. You said you stopped around 17. I'd say listen to the end with Baby Metal.
I mean, I
Because
like Baby Metal actually, and that's actually funny. When I read the feature list on here, I was like, "Fucking Baby Metal, what the fuck?" Like, I was so blown by that. Like,
I was too. I didn't even really look at the feature list or anything. I was just playing it while I was working, so I wasn't even looking at my phone. And then I heard the song, I'm like, is this Baby Metal? And then I went and looked it up. Um, but that song has a different vibe, honestly. I don't know if you like listen to anime openings and EPs every once in a while, but that's kind of what it sounds like. It's literally like an anime song.
yeah, and I think stuff like that. I think a lot of those different elements also aid in people's enjoyment of this because I know, like again, like you said, watching anime, listening to anime openings, and because honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people, like I've seen a thread before on Twitter of like, oh, like these are the anime openings, that the greatest anime, and like I'll be hearing this shit. I'm like, this shit sucks. Like,
Yeah.
I be hearing this shit stinks. Like it's just a fucking guitar going crazy, which I guess is cool. Maybe I don't know enough about the show to like know why it's hard. I don't know, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like it's certain anime, like, but I also noticed that because I think when you do listen to that type of stuff, like it does change the way you're going to perceive this off of the first listen. And so
Hmm.
I think that makes a big difference because I think when you have a first listen and it's very discouraging, boy, that second listen takes a while.
It's a
It-
slog. It feels like a chore.
yeah, it like and literally that's what it felt like though. When I was listening to the 17 songs I listened to, it literally felt like I was like, you know what? I'm doing this for the pot. Like I had to remind myself I'm doing this for the pot. Because I wanted to have something to come in here and say because I knew you would listen to it. So
Hmm.
I'm just like, okay, I'm doing this for the pod. I'm doing it for the pod. But it was like, dog.
This dedication. You hear that,
It,
folks? We're dedicated.
it was a couple songs. It was a couple like oh man, when I tell you I got to that Nicki song, dog, that shit almost tore my heart out. Like I was like, yo, I can't go any further. I heard that shit because I heard that last night. And I hadn't like my brother played it because I guess he didn't listen to any of the album, but he was just like, oh fuck, a Nicki and Uzi song. Why not? he played it, and I was just like, no, no. And then I looked where that was on the album, and I was like, oh, I'm like 4 songs away. So I listened to the songs before that; they were solid. Then I got there, and I was like, oh, no, 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 that's not gonna be it. But I'll see. Like my thing is, it's 26 songs. I'm probably gonna find at least 5 that I like. I know that. But I overall, I wouldn't say it's disappointing because I mean, I don't know. I didn't have any expectations for what I thought this would be. Obviously, this is not what I want to hear, so there's that.
Yeah,
But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a real critique other than I didn't like what I heard.
and yeah, that's fair. Everybody thinks you have to have a an in-depth breakdown on albums and what. Just if I don't like it, I don't like it. And at
Yeah,
the end of the
especially
day,
like, and the reason is one reason. It's just like this is literally the exact speed or exact type of like I don't be liking this. Like when I be hearing this, I do not be liking this. Like and historically that's been true. Like every nigga that does it don't matter who it is. Like it's not like nigga if Uzi can't change my mind on it, then it's clear that I just don't like this type of shit. Like
mhm.
because it's like nigga, I heard Trippie Redd do it, I don't care. I heard Playboy Cardi do it, don't care. Heard Uzi do it. Mind you, Uzi's the nigga of those 3 that I like the most. Definitely don't care. So, well, I guess that's kind of it, folks. But I guess in more in Uzi news, right? He also was getting roughed up by JT at the BET Awards. I don't know if you've seen this.
I heard about it, but I didn't look into it because I didn't really give a fuck.
So this nigga was bugging. I'm not gonna hold you.
What happened?
Lil Uzi was at the BET Awards, right? Lil Uzi ended up sitting next to Ice Spice at the BET Awards. It was like Ice Spice on one side, and I guess JT on the other side.
Mhm.
So Lil Uzi, and hold on, I want to make sure I get because he did several things that were wild, like where it was like my nigga, you can't fuck up this many times at one event, like
In
you
a
can't,
row,
yeah,
back to
right,
back.
yeah, like it's only been a few hours, bro. How do you fuck up that much? Like, you can't fuck up 2 or 3 times in an hour for real. Um, and so there was uh, so yeah, so okay, so there was a whole bunch of shit. So basically, he's got a song where he's basically saying he smashed a girl that looked like Ice Spice, right?
Mhm.
That's strike one.
I
Um,
heard that and I was like, "Isn't this nigga still? Why is he talking about other women when?"
like,
And
right, yeah.
and I just chalked it up to artists, rappers be saying shit that's not
Hmm.
true just for the song. So, but I did was like, "You with JT? Why you talking about smashing bitches that look like Ice Spice?"
That's one. Two, I'm sitting next to Ice Spice, and then you tried to get a picture from her, and you was talking with her all night. It's like, dog. You're doing too much. Like, I just and that was the part that had me crying because a lot of people was like, "Oh, I feel sorry for her, Uzi and da da." I'm like, man, look,
What do you feel sorry for?
yeah, I don't. I mean, it is what it is.
Literally, it is what it is. I'll never understand what is there to feel sorry for?
Mm. Yeah, like this is shit you do, bro. Like, don't ever say you fucked the girl like the girl you sitting next to. Like, you fucked the girl that look just like the woman you sitting next to, chatting up, smiling in her face, trying to take pictures with her. Don't ever do that. I'll snap your
While
neck.
I'm
Don't
right
ever.
here.
Yeah, while I'm next to you, bro. Don't ever do that. I'll throw my phone at you.
Says I'll
like,
snap your neck.
like, bro, you gotta be crazy. Like, you are insane thinking that this is some shit you could do next to your girl at a public event, like in public. Like we see you, bro.
Do he know that we can see him?
Yeah, nigga, do you know that we can see you? And so yeah, that's why I was just like, bro, like sometimes, man, I always say it, like, if you want to save yourself, sometimes you gotta let go. Because truth be told, I don't know why JT still with Lil Uzi. I really don't, to be honest. Um, because I'm just like, well, what do you like, again, not to compare, but I'm gonna do it. Carisha with Diddy and a billionaire, and you with Leslie.
Leslie?
it's like it's like, come on, yo. Like you with Leslie, like the grown youngin. Like,
A
yeah,
grown fight.
like I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, that's just me. That's just me.
That just means she really love him. She's standing by him.
So they say. But speaking of letting go to save yourself, um, ESPN let go quite a few of their hosts to save some money. Boy, hey, look, ESPN clearing up cat space. I tell you what,
For what? We don't know.
we don't know, but I think between Pat McAfee, Shannon Sharp, they want one of them niggas. They looking at it like, right, whichever one I don't get, I'm gonna get. I'm leaving here with something.
Is what's going on with Pat McAfee? I haven't heard anything. Is he like ending his podcast with Barstool or something?
Yeah, so Pat McAfee, hold on, he wants to prevent. Hold on, what the hell? Let me see. Hold on. Oh yeah, so Pat McAfee, he was signed to FanDuel originally. He got signed to ESPN in May on a 5-year, $85 million contract. So then on Friday, ESPN laid off a whole bunch of niggas. And obviously, Pat McAfee pretty much made a tweet where he said, "Look, at the end of the day, I'm still pumped to join ESPN, and my goal obviously is to hope that max exits are never a thing again. Obviously, it's a lofty goal, but like that's how I look at life. Like, I wish we could have worked alongside a lot of the folks that got released today, some absolute legends, da da da, and all of this. And I thought it was weird though, like for people to pretend like this was Pat McAfee's fault because
People
I'm like,
were saying that.
well, people did because they saw it as well. They cleared out cap room because basically, like they looked at it like, well, it's a hard ceiling, like literally as if this was a cap situation, right? They say the hard ceiling is 130 million. If I'm paying him 85, nigga, I simply can't afford to keep legends on. Like, cause some of y'all might want 20, some of y'all might want 15, so, and I can't pay one person. So, but I don't think that's true because it's fucking ESPN. One, and
ESPN owned by Disney, a
owned
billion
by
dollar
Disney. Like,
corporation.
yeah, it's like, brother, that's not a real thing for real. Like, I think they're going in a new direction, and I don't know what that means, but they saw it as a chance to shed a lot of you niggas. Now, granted, I genuinely don't know the plan because I understand some of the people they cut. Like about half of the cuts, I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense. You didn't need that guy. But then the other half is just like, now these are the ones I'm not getting because some of these folks literally are legends. Like I don't like these. Some of these folks have been on TV for 35 years.
I was
I,
very shocked that they cut Max Kellerman.
I mean, yeah, like Max Kellerman, Jeff Van Gundy got cut, which Jeff Van Gundy wasn't too shocking because he was very critical of the NBA. So they were probably like,
Mhm.
hey, look. But I mean, even Susie Colbert, that white lady, she's been on ESPN for like 25 years.
Damn.
Who was the other guy? The guy who goes up there with Scott Van Pelt, who has the Bucci, Steve Bucci Grossi, Bucci
Yes.
man. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Steve, is that his name? Steve Bucci Grossi, John Bucci Grossi. Yeah, so he had been at ESPN since '96. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? Like that's 25 years. So it's like it's no shock that all of these niggas are leaving because I think ESPN's just retooling. They're doing something totally different, and I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know where they're headed. Doesn't necessarily look great where they're headed, but we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. I do think that they're clearing room. I don't know what if they're. I mean, they're gonna chase Shannon Sharp. If they chase Pat McAfee, I don't see why they wouldn't chase Shannon Sharp. But
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't
I
know.
wouldn't be surprised if they already got in contact with Shannon because I mean, nobody leaves a position when they don't already have something lined up. So I'd imagine Shannon probably already got something in the pocket.
Yeah, and you don't fire this many people without having a plan for what we're gonna have to end up doing.
Yeah.
Without, you know what I mean? Like you don't fire 20 personalities, hire Pat McAfee, and think, okay, that evens it out. Like no, you are sure that that doesn't even it out. So I think there's still moves left to be made. I don't know what they'll be, but I'm curious because I don't know what the hell they're doing. But it's a shame though, honestly. Like it really makes me think like because there's too many good names at ESPN that ended up leaving, and I'm just like, this is really
Y'all
actually a
niggas
shame
truly don't care about anything.
because it's a lot of good folks. Um, I don't know, I don't know. So. But again, a lot of people are doing this. A lot of media companies are doing this. They're having huge layoffs, and I think again, it's a lot of the legacy media companies are struggling. I don't know
Yeah, and I was about to
how.
say, in the age of streaming, nobody's making money. The only people that are making money are companies that don't have a streaming service. Honestly,
And you know what it is? I think what ESPN probably will do is bring back maybe 20% of these people, just on new contracts.
hmm
Like they'll take whatever your old deal was. Like, all right, we was paying you 25. All right, I tell you what, I'm gonna buy you out your contract, and then buy you in a new contract at a lower rate.
sick shit.
Mm-hmm. And what's even sicker about it is that if you were to do that, right, and lay it off, I don't know how this works, but I'm of the belief that because some of these folks have salaries, if we have a 4-year something contract, is that guaranteed? Or is there just like a severance? I don't know. Like again, that's the part where it gets confusing because is it like sports where that's guaranteed money? Like so if I signed a 4-year deal for 20 million and you cut me year 2, do I still get my 10 million for the next 2 years? Or do I just get a severance that's some number that was already agreed upon?
I mean, we can't really think about this type of situation because it's not like a normal job where you just they could just let you go at will and they pay you a severance. These people are signing $1 million contracts. I would think those contracts have stipulations for stuff like this, right?
I would assume so. We won't know language. Oh, here we go. In all, 20 commentators were laid off, and the company told staff members that it would renegotiate some contracts at reduced salaries, literally what I said, or
Mm,
let some expire at the end of their terms, said a person familiar with the situation. So I don't know. I still don't know how the payout goes. I don't know. I don't know how the payout works like in terms of that. But I don't know. Well, I'll be interested to see. I think I don't know, man. I just don't like the concept. But you know what it is? I do understand ESPN's perspective because I think they got very bloated with their commentators over the last maybe 5 years to the
mhm.
point to where you just had too many niggas on payroll. But I think I don't know. I just don't like the way they did it here because I feel like here they probably sorted by who was making the most money and just
Yeah,
start cutting from the top down. And it's like, nigga, you should have been cutting all the bums that you brought on who are getting paychecks for nothing. Like I get it. Like you're look at this legacy guy, he makes 18 mil over 4 or 5 years. So like it's a big number. But like you're signing niggas to $1 million deals over 2-3 years, and they're not offering you shit. They're bums.
literally, there's a bunch of no-name niggas working at ESPN. They could, if you cut enough no names, you can keep around the legacy guys that people actually care to see.
But don't get me wrong, not every no name is terrible, but many of them were. Like, truthfully, many of them actually were. But yeah, they got rid of Keyshawn Johnson, Susie Colbert, Jeff Van Gundy, Todd McShay, Steve Young. Even I didn't like Steve Young. Fuck him.
Yeah,
Matt Hasselbeck, he's also a doof. Who else? June Lee. Oh, he was nice. David Pollock, Jason Fitz, Ashley Brewer. I don't know half of these people.
that's what I said. These are. I didn't expect you to just keep naming names.
I know who David
You
Pollock
cut a
is. I don't
lot
know
of
who the
people.
rest of those niggas are. Oh, this guy's an MLB writer. That's why I wouldn't know.
Oh, I don't know shit about baseball.
Um, but yeah, man. So shit. Prayers up for the ESPN niggas. I'm sure y'all be fine. Y'all find somewhere to land. Hopefully.
Saw somebody say they're rebuilding around Perkins.
That's funny as yo. No, that's insane though. The fact that Perk keeps his job, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe we just haven't heard it yet. But nah, I don't. I don't want. We better not emerge from this with Perk keeping his job for real.
I think Perkins gonna keep his job. I
We
think
yo.
I
We
think it's
we
over.
we better not,
I
nigga.
saw a
Like,
video. They threw a pizza party for the remaining employees at ESPN headquarters
that's kind of sick. You don't
with
think?
Richard Jefferson there. So I think Perk is here to stay. He was there at the pizza party, eating all the pizza.
That's not kind of crazy. Like, throwing a pizza party for the niggas that lived. Like that's not
I
wild.
mean, that's what companies do, like in real life, like regular companies.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Instead of giving niggas pay raise, what they do? Pizza party. Everybody come to the kitchen.
And it's that thin ass pizza that's like
Yeah,
it's
not
like
even good pizza. You getting
they
niggas
cut a
little
whole
slices.
slice in half.
This nigga talking about the
The
middle
middle
school
school,
pizza.
yeah.
Devious.
Oh man. But yeah, man. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, I guess while we're here, we might as well touch on the NBA free agency. There's been a lot of rumbling. There's been a lot of movement, man.
I just want to say, I remember a lot of people were saying Draymond was done with Golden State after this year since he was going to be a free agent.
I
Um,
always said they were good. I always felt like it was going to be a situation where you kept Draymond, maybe you pay Clay, and if you got to choose, like if it's Draymond, Clay, and Jordan Poole, Jordan Poole is the first person going,
Yeah,
and he was,
1000%. Literally.
and he was. Like I never, like I saw Clay possibly leaving too. Like I saw maybe they keep Draymond, maybe they keep Jordan Poole and get rid of Clay, but I never. There was no world where I saw them getting rid of Draymond. So Draymond's gonna and be like, well, he's the most important piece. In a
He's a
sense, a little
very
bit.
important
He
piece.
is an
Yeah.
important piece, but I'm like, listen, if Draymond can finish at the rim, that nigga will be somebody different. But that's not the point.
He get everything else done that he need to get done.
But yeah, so let's get into the free agency, man, because there's been a lot of movement these last 2 days for real, like
A whole lot of turbulence.
a lot of turbulence, right? So we got let's start from June 27th, right? June 27th. Let's see. So we got oh no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Victor Oladipo got traded to the Thunder. We don't care.
Damn.
No, we don't. I mean, you know what's funny? I
No,
really
I don't care. I'm saying damn, because he just went from a finals contending team to the Thunder.
yeah, and I feel bad for the Thunder are gonna be nice in a few years, but he's probably not gonna be there for that. But I do feel bad for Victor Oladipo because he really was nice until injuries fucked his
Yeah,
career up.
what happened to him? Because he was out for the entire playoffs. Or was he
I
like,
think he like torn his patella or some shit. It was like something with his kneecap or some shit like that.
damn?
What was it? But it's always injuries with Victor Oladipo. Like Victor Oladipo was nasty. Like niggas don't. Yeah, patella tendon, tendon near his knee. Um, but yeah, so Vucevic signed with the Bulls. Re-signed with the Bulls. Let's go. Torian Prince went to the Lakers, which I think is a solid pickup for the Lakers. It's not amazing, but I don't think they have the room to really make splashes like that. So,
Yeah, they got to be near or at cap space, right?
yeah. Bruce Brown signed to the Pacers, 2-year deal. James Harden picked up his option, but basically they're going to do a sign and trade. So James Harden will probably not play again for the 76ers. Who he will play
Where's he
for?
going?
Well, they were saying that the teams that were expected to engage were the Clippers and the Knicks. And I hated that because I was like,
Him on the Clippers would be crazy with him, Paul George, and Kawhi if he can get healthy.
oh yeah, it would be dope because the playoffs will come around and it'll be James Harden playing by himself. Like the Clippers is insane because I'm like, bro, I don't. How can you trust those guys to stay healthy? Please stay away from that. The Knicks would be interesting, but I don't think I would like to see that too much.
Yeah, I can't picture him as a Nick, honestly.
I can picture him playing the one, Jalen Brunson at the two, or them swapping one of the two. One of them's playing the one of them's playing the two. It would work. I think they would have enough. They'd probably have to ship someone off to make
Julius
room
Randle.
for him. I would. That's the thing. I would be willing to move Julius Randle, but at the same time, I gotta get like a budget guy who can produce at the forward position
Mm-hmm.
because for all the shit we give Julius Randle, because he's like he's a regular season guy. That's always the knock against him. Regular season, he's like D'Angelo Russell, where it's like regular season, these guys always show up.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, the hell, that's what James Harden is. Regular season, yeah, I'm showing up. I promise you, I'm showing up. But then the playoffs
Life
come
gets you
around,
right in the
and
playoffs.
uh,
Well, you said that's what James Harden is, and he is, but I'll give him more credit than Julius Randle and D'Lo.
yeah, no. Of course, he's better. He's better than D'Lo. And I think he's played better consistently than Julius Randle. So yeah, I get that. But I don't think you can have too many of those on the same team, and that's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. Like, you
Oh
can't
yeah.
have James Harden and Julius Randle, and y'all both. No. I
Y'all both
can't.
selling in the finals now.
Yeah, I can't have two playoff sellers for real. We just saw that, like with James Harden and Embiid in Game 7. Like, like we just watched y'all both sell in the biggest game of the year. So sorry, no.
I don't understand how you sell in the most important game when a game before that you drop 40 points, do some incredibly crazy shit.
Mhm.
How do you just turn it on and off? The ability to be good.
I don't know, man. Kyrie Irving re-signed with the Mavs for 3 years, 126. Da da da.
I kind of wanted him to go somewhere else just because I wanted to see the Kyrie slander of him always switching teams.
Yo, I was telling my brother about this the other day, but I'm like, bro, I would like niggas like James Harden, even Kyrie, bro. I'm gonna say this, and I know some people may go ring chase, go get a ring, shamelessly, shamelessly. I don't care. Play with whoever you want to play with. Take the pay cut and play with the guys you want to play with. I don't. I'm sick of you watching you niggas get bags and chase bags and play for niggas who don't deserve y'all. Like
Literally.
that was my issue with Bradley Beal up until now. That was my issue with Dame up until he requested a trade today. That was my issue with a lot of you niggas. I'm sick of watching you niggas rot in these and it's not just rotting. Like I don't treat
Wasting
rotting
your whole prime.
right. And I don't treat when I say wasting your prime, I don't mean, well, you're not on the team I want you to be on, so you're wasting your prime. No, 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 no. You're not on a team that's going to ever fucking contend. That's the difference. The Wizards were once John Wall was out of there and that whole era was over. These niggas had no room to contend anymore. Once, what was the other one I just mentioned? Bradley Beal and fuck, who was the other guy? Who was the other guy? God damn it,
Kyle
Dame
Kuzma.
Lillard. No,
Okay.
no, not Kyle, but Lillard. Like nigga, that Portland team has been ass for like 4 or 5 years. Even when that team was making the playoffs just barely and struggling to win a series, like we knew that team wasn't enough. We saw them getting it done somehow, some way, anyway. But we just like knew, like, all right, this team's not. And then worst part was once they trade CJ McCollum, and you really don't even have a guy, a number two now. It's like, what are you still here for? And then that was think about it. CJ McCollum got traded like 2 or 3 seasons ago. I can understand playing 1 year extra, right? But then after that, bro, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I
And,
gotta know what was going through Dame's head, other
and
than not running from the ground.
really, right? Like Jeremy Grant got $160 million deal in Portland. Yo, Rich Paul is his agent. Rich Paul is
A
that,
demon.
that nigga is casting spells.
He's the Antichrist, literally.
Oh, hold on. First off, Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul is
Talk to him.
that man is casting spells or something like because he can't keep getting away with this.
The
Jeremy
nigga
Grant got 160 million. Jeremy Grant now makes more money than Luka Doncic, and Luka Doncic just signed an extension.
absolutely insane. What is he? Nah, I really need to know what Rich Paul is doing.
I'm telling you, Rich
That nigga got
Paul.
a magical tongue.
He is the
He
nigga where
talk to niggas.
you walk. Hey, yo, that sounded crazy, but you walk into the hotel room, and he's the nigga who literally is just, oh, Mr. Paul, have a seat. He said, have a seat, take a seat, and then he sit him down. You know why I'm here, right? But like he'd be like, you know why I'm here, right? He'd be like, no. He'd be like, yeah, no, I think you know why I'm here. I think you know why I'm here. You know about Mr. Grant, right? You, you know he needs a bag, right?
So
Yeah.
he's the go-to guy for getting a bag in
Yeah. Like
the NBA.
now now you know that's gonna happen, right? Like you know he's gonna get a bag, right? No matter what, someone's gonna give him a bag. But why shouldn't it be you?
Wouldn't
Right?
you want to be the person to get him that bag?
He said, wouldn't that be great to be in Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul's good graces? Every time he referred to himself, he said the whole thing. He said, now that's the thing. As Clutch Sports CEO, uh, I just I think it would behoove you to really look this offer over. But I'll tell you what, give me 1 second. I'm about to put this on pause for like 2 minutes because I'll be right back. So I don't know if you want to entertain us and tell you little stories, tell some jokes or something.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Damn, Rich Paul, man. I need a Rich Paul in my life. Damn. Is it still raining? Damn.
Whew. All right, all right.
What'd you do?
Shit, not really. Can't speak on what I seen or saw.
You just took an incredibly fast stealth dookie.
Say now, so Torian Prince goes to the Lakers. That's all right. I talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Timberwolves signed Troy Brown Jr., who was all right for the Lakers last year. It's just this Jeremy Grant contract. Honestly, and it's not just the Rich Paul effect. A lot of people were talking about how Rich Paul this, Rich Paul that, but it's like that's just the league. Honestly, it's less to do with Chris Paul, Rich Paul than it is to do with just the fact that like
Niggas just throw money around.
yeah, and there's so many teams. Because think about it, like these teams are desperate. The desperation is you can see it, you can feel it. Especially the Trailblazers, they are desperate.
I don't know
So
why they desperate. They haven't been contenders, and they're not going to be contenders for the foreseeable future. What are they
yeah,
desperate for?
well, again, considering that Dame finally requested a trade today, I think Dame probably saw enough. Once I see y'all are giving basically a max to Jeremy Grant, yeah, do me a favor.
No, that's hilarious. The nigga left not because he was running from around, but because first off, I feel slighted. Did you give him a max to Jeremy Grant?
Yeah, like ain't no way y'all gave a max to Jeremy Grant. Like no All-Star appearances, Jeremy Grant.
Yo,
That's
chill.
Jeremy
Jeremy
Grant.
Grant, nice, yo.
Jeremy Grant's good. Jeremy Grant's good for sure. Like, but again, you see this happening. Like, guys don't be worth the contracts they get, but that's also the nature of this league, unfortunately. Like, where niggas are getting drastically overpaid, and they have been since that they signed that new CBA or whatever it was, however long ago they did. That was maybe like a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like niggas are like again, y'all just don't be, y'all do not be the worth the money that y'all are getting not getting paid, but y'all don't be the worth that money for real. And that'd be the shame. Like these teams are just like they need a player, like because think about Portland can't afford to not do anything in free agency because they weren't very good last year, and they're considering that they might be without Dame this year. So it's like I can't afford to just literally sit there and not do anything. So then I get desperate and I say, "Oh, Jeremy Grant, he's pretty good," which he is. He's pretty good. And so what
Same
happens?
thing with the Wizards, honestly.
Exactly. And so what happens? I end up deciding I will basically overpay for a guy who's pretty good, but I'm going to pay him like he's a superstar because I need anything right now. Like, and that's been the consistent issue that we see that keeps happening. And teams keep going for it because I think that's just the nature of how this shit works. Teams are going to keep going for it. And of course, in the meantime, players are going to be getting broke off, agents are going to be getting paid, people are going to be eating off of this shit. So,
Hey, good for them, honestly. Glad more fine, upstanding basketball people are getting money.
well, yeah, so that's the part where I'm just like, yeah, well, we'll have to see, man, because I don't know. I think niggas are I think shit's getting a little odd. But I'll tell you what, the Phoenix Suns signed Chimezi Metu, they signed Yuta Watanabe. They signed some solid players. Like obviously everyone that they're signing now is like a minimum player basically or a mid-level exception. I think they get like one, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all minimum players because they have fucking three max players. So now they're just stuck paying guys, paying guys nothing. So Gabe Vincent went to the Lakers. I think that's a good look for them. Shake Milton went to the Timberwolves, which should be a good look for them.
Didn't Max Struss get traded somewhere else too?
He did. He did. I will see that trade in a second. Let's see. Hold on. Lakers re-signed Rui Hachimura last night.
As they
Fred
should.
VanVleet got a
Oh,
free.
Fred, man, please let's go ahead and get your
Nah,
shit
you
off
know
him.
what? Yeah, hold on. Let me come back to Fred
Get your
VanVleet. Let
shit.
me come back
Yeah, say that
to
for the
him.
end because it's gonna be
Yeah,
another
yeah.
hour.
Dennis Schroeder, 2 years, 26 million with the Raptors. The Mavericks signed Seth Curry,
Wait, how much? How much was it?
2 years, 26.
How much did he get while he was with the Lakers?
Um, I don't know. Let me see. Let me see what that contract was.
Because I remember a few years ago, the Lakers tried to pay him a bag, and he went to go bet on himself and go to
Yeah,
the Celtics,
and it didn't turn out great. No,
and then
no.
he went back to the Lakers. This might be an upgrade for him. He might be getting more.
No, it is. It's absolutely an upgrade. Last year, so 2020, when he first played for the Lakers, he was making 15, and that was when he bet on himself. And then the
Mm.
year after that, he made two and got and ended up getting traded to the Celtics from the Rockets, where he ended up making 3.8 actually. And then literally just last year when he got traded to the Lakers, he was making 2.6. So he's just about where he was when he bet on himself the first time. So
Hey man, good for him.
yeah. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, in his total career so far, he's earned 77 million, which is an insane number to think about. But over 10 seasons, but think about it. He's gonna make 26 in the next 2 years. So I mean, that's good. That's good. I mean, your average before what was 7 mil a year basically, and now you gonna make 12 and 13 in 2 years. So hey, look at that.
That's a
You'll be
come
all
up.
right. You'll be
Yeah,
all right. The Grizzlies have agreed to a deal with Derrick Rose. Uh,
really, that's interesting.
yeah, I do. Like, I think honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I think the Grizzlies have made a lot of moves this offseason that make a lot of the Marcus Smart trade. I think was great for them. Derrick Rose is a backup point and just the veteran. I don't know about leadership, but just having that like a dude who is like that, especially for Ja specifically, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Um, let's see, Monte Morris went to the Pistons. The Heat agreed to trade Victor Oladipo to the Thunder for draft compensation. Tyrese Halliburton signed a max. Desmond Bain signed a max. Max Strus has signed a 4-year deal with the Cavs.
that seems like a good fit to me. I can see him as a calf.
It makes sense, yeah.
He might
Uh,
he might be able to actually help that team a lot. I mean, he's a guy that's been to the playoffs repeatedly. The Cavs last season lights got too bright. He might be able to bring something to the team that they need to get to the finals.
he said lights got too bright. You pissed down your leg. And so some guy, okay, reigning EuroLeague MVP Sasha Vezenkov signed a 3-year deal with the Kings. Um,
Okay.
to put it in perspective, oh, these are all-time stats. I was about to say that's insane that he won MVP with those fucking stats. Hold on, I gotta find this guy's actual stats for this year.
You said EuroLeague MVP?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So this year he averaged 18 points a game, uh, 18 points, 7 boards, and something else. I don't know
How
that.
do you think that'll translate to the NBA though?
Well, I don't know his game, so I couldn't tell you. I literally couldn't tell you. He's a forward though. Oh god, it's all in like European measurement though. Like I went to his height. That's just at 206.
Yo, using these made up numbers, yo.
Is that centimeters? Because if it's centimeters, that's six. Basically, it's like
It's
six
it's got
foot
to be
seven.
centimeters because a meter is like 3 feet. So if he's 206 meters, then he is a kaiju.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's
you
like
said 6'3".
no, it's like 6 feet because 81 inches basically is what I translated to. So 81 inches would be what 6'9", right?
Yeah, it's a big guy.
Yeah, 6'9". So okay, so he's probably gonna play forward for them, and that makes sense because if this guy can be better than Harrison Barnes, then you can move on from Harrison Barnes. So this makes a lot of sense for the Kings. I can see that.
Didn't something happen with Harrison Barnes? I feel like I saw something about him recently.
Well, he just got re-signed to the Kings, but other
Oh,
than
okay,
that,
that's
I
what I
don't
saw.
know.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's probably what I saw. I saw people talking shit about it.
Yeah, so Damian Lillard basically requested a trade. He
Do you
requested.
think? Do you think that? I don't think they should be salty in any way because he's given most of his career to Portland. But do you think they're going to be salty and send him somewhere other than where he requested to go? Because you've seen teams
Um,
do that where somebody requests to go somewhere and then the team specifically sends you to a different team just because they don't like you anymore? They
Well,
fucking pissed.
I don't know because he did state that his preference was the Heat.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a few teams that are going to be interested. Um, I think we could see him on the 76ers. I could see that. I could see that because I think that the 76ers recently just said they weren't going to re-sign Tyrese Maxey.
Oh,
So I
really?
think, and not this season, right? They're basically trying to push it down the road. So I think if you put a Tyrese Maxey, but then with the contracts, if I had to, well, no, because I'm trading James, so that'll clear up 35 mil, which is basically what Dame Lillard makes, right? So if
We'll
I
see.
trade James Harden, I should have the room for Dame. So I think you trade James Harden, get back what you can get back, and then I don't know. I think if the 76ers freak this right, they could end up the biggest winners here. Because I think if they trade James, get some good young dudes, this and that, and then they trade one of those young guys and say a Tyrese Maxey or a Tobias for Dame, and then now you've got Dame, Embiid, and a bunch of guys with and some depth. I mean, mind you, I think that's still better than what y'all had last year. So we'll see. We will see.
Hmm.
Imagine if Dame went to the Spurs. That'd be nuts.
I'm not gonna imagine that. Thank you.
Oh, I'm screaming. It said Damian Lillard thought about asking for a trade on Monday, but wanted to give them a chance to improve the team on the first night of free agency.
Oh, so he literally. Oh man.
So the
No.
Jeremy
Fuck
Grant
that.
shit literally was why. So that's exactly why you requested a trade. Oh, the Heat signed Thomas Bryant. That's a good trade. Lakers locked up D'Angelo Russell. So be it. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's see. The 76ers signed Pat Bev. I'm crying. Bucks re-signed Brooke Lopez. The Knicks sent Obi Toppin to Indiana. Obi
Obi.
Toppin is very funny name. Love
I
it.
love that name. Every time I read that name, I just get a little choking to myself.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see, man. I really do think the 76ers can come out because you're gonna trade James Harden. So I think the haul from that, and then if you can keep like the one good piece from that haul and then trade the rest of the haul for Dame, I think you come out the winners.
Yeah.
I think
You
you
think
come out winners.
you think Dame and Embiid is gonna be enough for them to get to the finals?
I think the supporting cast will tell the difference. That's what I mean. Where it's important what you get back for James
Mm-hmm.
and what you trade to get Dame. Like because my thing is like, let's say you trade James, you get 2 players and a pick, and then to get Dame, you trade both of those players and a pick. I don't think that's enough of a move.
Yeah.
I think you have to win one of those trades and then come out neutral on the other one. You know what I mean? So it's like a net positive. Like I think you like because you're gonna have to make 2 trades here. So I just think it's a matter of making sure you come out of even if you have to spend a little draft capital. I think you're I would rather trade my draft capital than players because I need depth. I need guys to produce. That was the problem with the 76ers, right? Like their stars didn't produce, but even the games where their stars did have 30, the next
They
closest
had
guy
no
had like
backup.
9. Yeah, the next
Yeah.
closest guy had like 8 points. And so lastly, we saved the best for last.
Kyle Kuzma getting 102 million.
No. Which is
Uh,
I thought was really funny because this nigga talking about, I'm committed to y'all Washington. Let's go. And I'm like, okay,
I mean,
all right,
yeah, have fun.
okay. Like,
I
but
live in DC too, but have fun with that.
okay. But we have a 4-year, 130. No, excuse me, a 3-year, $130 million deal with the Houston Rockets for none other than Mr. Below Average himself.
Professional light skin of the year.
No, it's yeah, that too, but it's the world's greatest chucker. The world's greatest chucker. It is none other than Mr. Fred VanVleet, Wichita State's own. This I'm not mad at this play. Right? I'm not mad at them signing Fred VanVleet. I think Fred VanVleet is a good player. I also think he's a chucker. And I think on this Houston Rockets team, I mean, I saw someone say that they were one player away from the playoffs, and I was just like,
Do you think Fred is that player they needed?
well, no. After, like, they were saying, like, all right, with Fred and then one
Oh, okay,
more.
I got you. Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, and then what? Like, like because I think with Fred VanVleet and hell, if you had Freddie and Jeremy Grant, that team is going to make the play in and get swept first round. They will make the playoffs. Like, but like that's my thing where it's just like I don't know. I don't love it.
What do you think the chances of James Harden going back to the Rockets? Because I remember
I think it's very low.
before all of this going on, he said literally that he wanted to go back to the Rockets.
Mhm. Mhm. I think now it's probably not going to happen because I think the biggest issue is I heard rumblings of this. I don't know how true it is, but it would make some sense. But there was Jalen Green, basically is their franchise now, right?
Mhm.
And Jalen Green went on Paul George's podcast and pretty much said, and I hate that it's taken this way because Paul George mostly said it and Jalen Green kind of just agreed. Um, but PG was basically like, well, yeah, that's the thing because you could if James comes there, I think that is probably not great for the growth of a guy like you. You know what I mean? Like you're a guy who likes to have the ball in your hands, da da da, and like obviously niggas know James Harden is a ball dominant player, so on and so forth, and all of that. And then pretty much Jalen Green agreed, but apparently that was something that James Harden didn't like. Again, these are just
Mm,
reports. I don't know. We don't know how true none of this shit is.
yeah.
But my thing is hearing those reports and then signing Fred VanVleet, who is a professional chucker. I don't think there's room for James Harden on his team now because Jalen Green's gonna chuck because he's the star of the team. Fred VanVleet's gonna chuck because that's why you paid him $130 million. I don't think you can add three chuckers to this team, none of which play defense. Not a single one of you can play defense. So then it's like, well, what are we really doing here, right? Like, who will play defense for us? Like, I just don't. I don't think James Harden adding James Harden to this team already assembled makes no sense to me. So that's why I don't. I think the chances now are probably like zero. Before the signing, I thought there was a chance. Like if they would have signed Dylan Brooks, then I would have thought that Dylan Brooks and James Harden would have worked. That would have been a solid offseason for me. But with Fred VanVleet, I don't think you can sign James Harden. I think you can still sign Dylan Brooks, but you cannot sign James Harden with Fred VanVleet and with Jalen Green on the roster. Like, bro, you just have a roster full of fucking hoopers. Like derogatory, nigga. Like just chuckers, nigga. Just
Wait. Is there any news about Dylan Brooks?
well, he hasn't gotten the contract yet, so
Oh,
no.
okay. I was so effectively he's not an NBA player at the moment.
Yeah, no, he's not sorry.
Shanghai.
Ni
Ni
hao,
hao.
ni hao. uh, Ni
Honestly,
hao.
I thought somebody would pick him up for cheap, honestly. Because like you said, he's not a bad player. He got a mouth and he's average.
Yeah, I
Average
think
is good enough for most teams though.
yeah, and that's my thing. Truth be told, with how much y'all love to overplay above average guys, I just don't see how y'all wouldn't pay an average guy exactly what an average guy deserves. Like that would make sense to me, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess not for y'all. Because it's like, bro, if Jeremy Grant's getting 32 a year and Dylan Brooks is like, yo, just pay me like 16, 17. Bro, we're okay.
Like I got
Absolutely.
7 for you.
Yeah, but, no, listen, if you need 18 mil, nigga, that's fine. If think about it. If that's half of what above like what good guys are getting, that makes sense. If the good guys are getting 30 plus, 25 plus, and I'm giving you 16, 17, yeah, that sounds about right. So I don't know. But speaking of good guys, we do have some updates on Mr. Kang.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. No, that was tongue in cheek. He's not a good guy.
oh.
He said, "Oh." He said, "Oh."
You had me going there. I thought he was reformed.
I thought it was wrong. He said, "I was unfamiliar with your game." um, yeah. So there was a Rolling Stone story put together
Uh-huh.
about Jonathan Majors, right? And you remember when we first talked about this some time ago, and we mentioned all the people on Twitter who had stories here and there of this shit and that shit and this stuff and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we knew somebody was working, and that somebody was Rolling Stone, because Rolling Stone came out with a very long article. Mind you, they said during a 3-month investigation. I'm like, 3 months? That's about the
3
time.
months.
Yeah, that's
Dang.
about when I was saying that shit, huh? Like, I made them do this. I made them investigate. But
This is your agenda to make all black men look guilty.
because you figure if I combine my agenda with your agenda, we we fucking got them.
Yeah, I'm feminizing niggas. You incriminating niggas. Yeah, we about to get the black community out of here.
Like, you know how they used to say deader in jail? Nah, it's gayer in jail now. That's your only two options,
He's not
buddy.
even in jail because he's in Hollywood. So Hollywood niggas should be cruising. So it's either gay or you still have a job, but niggas looking at you funny.
It's gay or not king.
I don't even
That's
think
it.
Disney drops them. I think we're
Well,
overestimating how little these niggas in Hollywood care about stuff like
well,
this.
it does depend, because I think this article spoke to. I mean, mind you, they talked to over 40 people for this one, and they went to his time in grad school, his relationships on set. They went to Yale, the School of
So
Drama.
this doesn't involve the case that's going on right now. This is
No, no,
just
no, no, no.
his
Yeah,
character as a person.
yeah. I was crying because somebody was like, "Oh, it's just slam piece," and like it's very like what was the word? Like they were like, "It's very coincidental that." No, it's not coincidental. They plan to drop this when y'all drop y'all in. Like, what? I hate when y'all like make it seem like there's a greater conspiracy at hand when the only real conspiracy at hand is like you're gonna say you're a good guy. I'm of the belief you're a bad guy. So when you say you're a good guy, I will come out with proof you're a bad guy. Like, that's not a coincidence. It's a plan. Like, that's why I hate when y'all act mysterious about it. Like, I wonder what that means. It means we are battling in the court of public opinion, nigga. What the fuck? Like, you know what this is. And not to mention, there was a 3-month long investigation. Like, I could have ended it early, but nigga, I wanted to make sure I had everything.
The main thing that pisses me off with this situation is that people there's no type of intersectionality. It's black and white people. There's no
Mhm.
gray area. So like it's either he's a shitty person or he's a saint and he's a good person. There's no world that we live in, according to most people on Twitter, where he didn't abuse this woman and he also didn't do all these bad things to all these other people. Because from what it's looking like, based off of new evidence from the case, is that he didn't attack this woman and that she actually attacked him. Cool. Let's put that in a separate box. Now let's
Mhm.
look at this pattern that he
Right.
has. So
Right.
it's like they just want to discredit everything just
Yeah.
because this case
Yeah.
is flimsy.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
that's exactly it.
two things
Because
could be true. He could be a shitty person and didn't do this shitty thing right now.
yeah, and I think it also would make a lot of sense because quite a lot of niggas who are shitty folks, even in this case, right, where it's like I didn't do nothing shitty in this case, right? But the fact that
But
you are a shitty person and carry yourself that way leads you to end up in cases like this. Because
yeah, exactly.
look around you. This isn't an every black man in Hollywood thing. This isn't. Like, look around. It's not. There's not that many of y'all that this is happening to keep it a buck. Like, y'all will pretend this is every black man in the world, and it's like it's not that many niggas who are being accused of beating women, and like it be the niggas who did it. Like it be the niggas who did it. So again, I'm not. Maybe you were the nigga who didn't do it, but if you also have a track record of emotionally and abusing people and being mad, rude, and like violent, and well, like you said, we can throw this case out, and I can. Oh well, where were y'all? Oh, brother. Listen, first, and not to mention a lack of evidence. What's that? The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Mm-hmm. Think about it.
Boondocks quote, yo. Yeah, I wasn't
Think
ready
about
for
it.
that one.
But yeah, so no, long story short, Rolling Stone got into it. It was cooking his ass up, like physical altercations at Yale. Involving like crew members and set members and shit like that. And then his behavior on the sets of movies and TV shows where production members raised concerns over his treatment. Um, Excuse me. And I thought this was interesting because, mind you, this came on the heels of them releasing that statement, basically saying, "Well, we spoke to 6 women. We have 6 women that he formerly dated, and they all came out and said so on and so forth." And Rolling Stone was like, "Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that because, well, we reached out to those 6 women as well."
Ooh.
And 3 said they never gave you permission to release a statement.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Another woman declined to share the statement credited to her by Major's teams, and she said it was pre-written, not truthful, and that she never approved of its release. So that's 4 women who did not give you permission, by the way. Only one consented to making her statement public, right? And this is a woman that Jonathan Majors dated from, get this, from age 13 to 18.
Now,
But think about
you
this.
know what? You
As a
know what,
lawyer,
bro?
you are pulling from women he dated 20 fucking years ago to try to speak to this man's character now.
That doesn't even like dog. That don't even make sense. First off, how did you even find a? How do you know who he dated when he was a child? Where's the public record on
Because
this?
you asked him and he told you.
So
Like if
you asked.
his legal team probably asked him, like, bro, are there women that can like speak kindly about you? Like,
Hey,
who are
dog.
they? And
This
and he
just
probably
seems.
named a bunch.
This seems idiotic to me. Like, I, how I understand why he did it because he's looking for anybody to attest to his credibility as a
Hmm.
person. But
Hmm.
as a lawyer with a functioning brain, why the fuck would you think a 13-year-old account of his character would matter when he's 30?
Yeah, like brother, I don't care what you were like when you were 16 because you are now 35. Like I
Bro, what are
simply
y'all
don't care.
doing?
Like I don't any woman who's up here, like because I'm sure it can go both ways with that. Like you could probably get a bunch of stories of yeah, this guy was a shitbag at 16. And then at 35, I'm no longer a shitbag. Like so it doesn't work. Like it means nothing. And mind you, this is the one woman who consented to make her statement public. No one else gave you the consent. Everybody else was just like, I never gave him permission to do that.
This is blowing me. This is really blowing me. Why? He dated from age 13 to 18, and you're gonna ask her for the content of his character.
Yeah, and then mind you, like I said, it's all these stories of him at Yale, of him slapping niggas. They was play wrestling with niggas, and then him getting mad serious out of nowhere, and then all this other shit where he was competing with people and cornering people, and basically not threatening niggas, but basically cornering niggas like, yo, don't step out of line with me, nigga. Like,
He just seemed like an angry nigga that has anger issues. Like
not to mention,
it's
y'all all keep saying he looked like one of them old timey, old school ass niggas. But what you think they was on? If you telling
surely
me he's a
grandpa
nigga,
wasn't beating grandma when the roast was
like
on.
right, like if you telling me this nigga was is one of them old school niggas born out of, come on now. I mean, he looked like he looked like he come home from work cussing.
I saw a
He
tweet.
looked like he come home from work cussing.
I saw somebody was trying to defend him by saying he was method acting, and
Nah,
so
that
his
shit was
characters.
so fucking funny, son. I couldn't believe it. Like,
It's
bro,
crazy how
Heath
the
Ledger
only.
was never beating women up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Daniel Day Lewis was not whooping women's asses, bro. What?
You know who was though? Jared Leto. So it's almost like some people are just shitty. It's
Mm,
not the method actor; they're just shitty people.
let's talk about it.
That was the funniest defense I've seen so far. Saying he was method acting, that's
No,
why he's
that's
being a dickhead.
genuinely funny. I mean, Jim Carrey wasn't right. I can't even speak confidently on these things because I don't
Does
be
Jim
knowing.
Carrey method act?
He did. He did with I think it was Andy when he played Andy Kaufman.
Ah, okay.
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah, sure.
I can see
Um,
Joaquin being a method actor. I can see that. Is Jake
um,
Gyllenhaal a method actor? That nigga be looking crazy in all his roles. That might just be
who
him
was
though.
the guy in Succession? Kendall. I think the guy who played Kendall Roy. He was a method acting. Jeremy Allen Strong, I think. Is that his name?
Mm.
Jeremy? No, Jeremy Allen White is the guy from The Bear. Jeremy Strong is the guy from Succession. There you go. Yeah, he was saying he was method acting. Like, bro, none of these niggas are whooping women's asses when they're method acting, bro. I'm so sorry. Like,
That's just because they not playing niggas that whoop women's asses.
bro, he played the Joker. The Joker abuses Harley all the
I
time.
mean, come on, you can separate yourself from that.
That's his job to play hard. Like, the Joker hates his girl. That's kind of the whole thing.
I mean, come on, but it's the I don't have any defense. Yeah, Heath Ledger's
Not to mention, I'm
now
like, bro, these white men be method acting to get into racist roles, and like, do we be hearing them come out? Like, I wouldn't put them past them to be racist, but it's like, do we like when they go racist? Do we just go, oh well, he had to play that role, remember? You know, so.
You know what's funny? This is off. Well, it's kind of on topic, but I saw an interview with Jamie Foxx yesterday. I'm sure you've heard from Samuel Jackson, Jamie Foxx, when they were working on Django Unchained. Leonardo DiCaprio was having trouble saying the N word, and Samuel Jackson was like, "Motherfucker, just do it. It don't matter." I'm sure you heard that before, right?
Yeah.
So I saw an interview with Jamie Foxx where he was like, they gave him the tips, they told him just say it. And Jamie told him, "Don't think of me as your friend. I'm not Jamie Foxx. I'm your property. I'm Django." And I guess the nigga went full method actor. He came in the next day. Jamie Foxx was like, "Yo, what's up, Leo?" And he just ignored him. He just ignored him the whole time and just went and started saying nigga.
It's like, all right, okay, that's when they're like, and action. Now, see this nigga here, oh.
I thought that was funny. Like, the nigga went from having trouble saying the N word, he felt bad about it, to, all right, I'm about to method act. I'm not even gonna talk to you niggas on stage.
He went home and he said, okay, I'm saying, look, Jamie Foxx, Samuel, they both told me. They told me.
They gave me the pass.
Cause listen, because they said to me. Right. So understand that if I go that route, that's what, you know what I mean? Like, that's.
Hey man, do what you gotta do. Django's one of my favorite movies. I'm glad that he went method for it.
Well, look, the craziest part is like it's like one woman who did it Majors was strangled and physically and emotionally abused, according to, listen, 9 sources familiar with the relationship.
9?
9.
That's a
2
lot.
sources claim she tried to leave multiple times and had an exit plan at one point. One source claimed it became really extremely abusive physically and mentally, and it escalated to him strangling her. So it's like, dog, if 9 people are willing to vouch for this, and I get it, they're like, well, it's just hearsay. Well, everything's just fucking hearsay. This is not court, dickhead. I hate when y'all do that. It's all hearsay. It's all hearsay. But put it this way, right? Me and you talk damn near every day. If I come out and say something about you, it's still going to be hearsay. It's going to be hearsay no matter what, because it's just me saying what I heard. But like, when these people are people who are close to the source of what, like, that's my whole thing. Like, and again, we can't know that, but also we also know that the publication is not. Well, I can't say they're not going to run a fucking hit piece, because they will. I mean, this is a hit piece anyway. Like, but
it's a hit piece with cause. It's not.
Yeah, it's a hit piece with evidence more so than anything. They're like, well, who are your sources? It's like, who? You're worried about who?
40 niggas.
Yeah, I'm in the club with 40,000 niggas.
That's crazy, though. 40 niggas for this case? Like, y'all was doing y'all research. That's a lot of niggas to inquire about this.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's that real investigative journalism right there.
And apparently there was one movie, Magazine Dreams, was supposed to be Jonathan Majors' Oscar moment.
Ew.
But it said 2 production members claimed that Majors reacted to them in a physical manner while on set, pushing one person away from him and moving in an intimidating manner toward the other while yelling, which led to a complaint. Other production sources corroborated the separate events. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you have to convince me that people who tolerated you this whole time are now all so eager to just turn on you. When, like, and that's always the thing that I hate. Like, y'all will always make it seem like it's a conspiracy and niggas is just da 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 da. It's like, these are the same people who tolerated you. They were with you. Some of these niggas actually supported you, in all honesty. So it's like, The fact that you got production and casting and crew and all of that shit, and there were concerns and all this shit raised, and some of it was actually documented, some of it was not. It's like, dog, if you having that problem on set, and then you're having all these instances of problems offset, my nigga, you're clearly the problem. I can't speak to you about what the intensity of your problem is because I don't know what is true and what isn't. But it's clear there is a problem,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the fuck it is.
I just
Let's see.
the nigga just has anger issues. I'm trying to think what would even you're a movie star, yo. What would have you to react in a violent manner on set?
Yeah, it said there was the movie Devotion, where he played the U.S. Navy's first black aviator. The costume department allegedly had issues with him, including an instance where he made costumers cry. Crew member eventually raised concerns to producers about his behavior. It seemed like it was some kind of sick pleasure that he took out of it. He did it
Oh,
to
this
people.
nigga is psychopath. He's
Yeah,
he's
like
not reacting out of anger. He wants to piss people off and make
they
people
said
sad.
he did it to
Oh
people
man.
who he could tell would be too afraid to stand up for themselves.
Oh, he's a
The
okay, yeah.
production company claimed there was no formal complaint filed against Majors, yet did not respond to questions on if there were concerns or issues raised about his behavior.
See, I thought we were just dealing with a nigga that couldn't control his anger. This nigga's a sociopath. He's specifically going after people that he thinks won't retaliate. This is crazy.
Yeah, and then there was another one on his upcoming movie, Magazine Dreams, where there was an actual incident where that was the one I was telling you about. He pushed one guy and then was walking towards the other one in an intimidating manner. And that one, the production source did acknowledge the complaint, but claimed the incident didn't involve physical contact or intimidation on Major's part, which I mean, like, okay, so what was the complaint? But it
He
doesn't
walked
matter.
towards him in an intimidating manner, and then I don't.
But
What are you
then you
talking?
ask what that Magazine Dreams film is around, right? It follows a bodybuilder who is obsessed with becoming a champion, but is overcome with self resentment and simmering rage. I'm like,
Oh,
are you?
see, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, are you
He's method
sure you're
acting, bro.
method acting, or are you simply just filled with self resentment and rage? And you saw, oh, this is a great type of movie.
I could definitely get into this. This role, I could slip into this easy, man.
Yeah, now obviously it said the director didn't respond to requests for comment. Multiple sources claim at least one complaint was made to higher ups, but Jonathan Majors was also the film's executive producer, and so many people felt like the director wasn't in a position to chastise Majors because of the star power he was bringing to what was an otherwise independent film.
Okay, I might sound ignorant here, but how does Jonathan Majors have so much pull and so much star power in such a short amount of time? Because before he was Kang in Marvel, the only other thing that I've seen him in was Lovecraft Country. Is his resume this extensive that he could just bully people and executive produce his own quote unquote Oscar moment?
He had a couple things. He had Last Black Man in San Francisco, Lovecraft Country, The Harder They Fall, Creed 3,
No,
and
Creed 3, this is after he was
no,
a
no, no,
star,
right.
right?
But what I'm saying is, think about it. If this first of this Magazine Dreams was the most recent thing that he was going to do, right? So at that
Oh, okay. So
moment,
this isn't
yeah,
like an old thing. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
at that
okay.
moment he had already done everything. So think about it. At that moment
Gotcha.
he's already signed on to play King. At that moment he already did Lovecraft Country. At that moment he's already done Creed 3. So it's like having done Creed 3,
Gotcha.
Lovecraft Country, The Harder They Fall, and then having you sign on to be Kang, and then this supposed to be your Oscar, buddy. I know where you're going. I know what your path looks like. I can't say that you're gonna get there. There's no guarantee you get there, but I know where you're going. So I definitely think that's why a lot of people, because they realize once, especially once Disney's involved, and it's like, damn, well, Disney's fucking with them. I kind of just gotta shut the fuck up, to be real with you.
Yeah, sadly.
So we'll see, man. We will see, but it's a very unfortunate situation for the victims here,
Mhm.
whoever the victims may be.
According to the 13-year-old girlfriend, there are no victims. He was great.
What else do we have? What else do we have? I'm not gonna hold you. We got a few more topics on here. I can't say that I care enough about any of them except for two.
What are the other topics? You didn't post the agenda, and I'm not looking at my email.
Obviously we're talking about the Bear, Dave, and Black Mirror. I don't really care too much about that. That shooting in Chicago, I do want to touch on that pretty real quick because that was.
Wait, there was a
um,
shooting in Chicago?
no, it was the video of the niggas in that chicken shack where
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
came for a burger and um fuck it, I'll just get into that real quick. So for those who don't know, there was an incident in Chicago where there's like a chicken spot or something. Some dudes there arguing with a woman that he I guess just met there. So he's arguing with this woman, da da da, they're getting into it, going back and forth, blah blah, all this shit. At some point, he just decides, I don't really want to talk anymore, and he just decides to start swinging on this woman.
On a
And
woman.
the woman is with her 14-year-old son, and at one point or another, she starts gesturing to her son like, "Yo, listen, you know, like, and her son took heed and sent that nigga up top.
I did the same
Well,
thing.
maybe he wasn't up top, but anyway, sent that nigga home. Long story short. And so this was one of those things where then his family got online and it got real nasty. Because I get it. That's your family. They just got boomed. Like you're not gonna speak ill of your family, but it's
Maybe he shouldn't have been beating women in public. I mean, what
yeah,
more do
you
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 want?
you, you kind of know exactly what you're like. You saw the video. You know what I mean? Like I get that. That's your guy. You not like because again, I understand. Like you're not gonna talk down on your man's like, all right, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't just say anything, but like. Nah, I'm sorry. Like
No,
I
to
can't
me,
shoot
no,
the
that
bail.
don't
I
fly to
can't shoot
me.
the bail.
If it's niggas in my family that are like known abusers or like
Well, known would be different, but if I didn't know you, say you was just my cousin, and this happened, like, yeah, now I'm watching all y'all celebrate my cousin get boomed. Like, it's insane. Like, I know the instinct. I'm not talking about the morals. Like, yeah, morally speaking, no, you shouldn't be defending that. But I understand just the instinct to just instinctually, like, yo, y'all bugging,
that's your family,
chill.
that's your blood. Like that
Yeah,
reflects
like,
on me if
yeah,
this
like.
nigga.
But unfortunately, it's
Yeah.
also the thing where it's just like, dog, I'm not. Again, these are like I've said it. I have absolutely said it. These are the situations where you're gonna get boomed in this, and I don't care. I'm here to tell
Yeah,
you that. I'm here to tell you that I will
some
laugh
don't
at it.
care. I
I will
might
make jokes
celebrate
about it.
exactly.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
make jokes about. I did like people like, oh, the sanctity of that. Bro, y'all don't even value your life enough. So why should I? I'm not doing it for you. You don't even care about your life, brother. You are in Chicago, knowing niggas keep it on them, and you decided I'm just gonna beat this woman in front of everybody. Fuck it, I don't care. I don't care. I just met you.
what
How long?
could even
I've
be
known you for a
said?
few minutes.
If
I'm
that's
gonna
what
whoop
I'm
your
saying,
ass.
you talk to a nigga for a few minutes. What could even be said that makes you so mad that you just start fighting a woman? Not even fighting, because was he even fighting back? Just start
Uh,
beating a woman in
Doesn't
public
matter.
in
Doesn't
front
matter
of other niggas.
because you came for a burger and you left with wings. Doesn't matter.
I don't think he left with wings. He's not an angel.
Ah, maybe not. Maybe you're right.
He left with some horns.
Either way, you came for a burger and you left with a one-way trip, one-way ticket. So that's my whole thing. Like I'm just like this is never a scenario. I always will listen. If you are a nigga who's in public putting your hands on women, I truthfully, what's that? You know that video of that black dude who was a conservative who was just like, if that's racism, like I need more of that. I need more of
Yeah,
that. Like I want
yes.
like that. That's literally how I feel. Like, bro, listen. Like if that's wrong, I need more of that. I need that. I need more of that. I need to see that. Like that's what I'm looking for. Like, oh, when you niggas start beating women in public, yeah. Do me a favor. Don't jump him. Boom this nigga. Don't give him no second chance. I don't. He's out of here. You're done
What
for.
what really annoyed me about the videos, there were other grown men there that did nothing.
Yeah. Oh, well,
What would have happened if the 14-year-old didn't shoot him?
then you would have saw what you always see, which is grown men afraid of other grown men. Like that's the part that always gets left out of this. Like it in these conversations, we quite often don't speak about how afraid of other men are.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, and think about it. There's been so many different scenarios and situations where men have been abusing women in public, and then a nigga step in and that nigga gets stabbed in the neck or getting
mhm.
boomed on or
But
something.
that's why I always say in those situations, if you step in, your job is not to break the fight up. It is to put this nigga to
Yeah.
bed.
Blindside that nigga, knock him to the ground.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Don't give him a chance.
I remember I seen one video. It's like some white girl. I think that was in like London or some shit. And this nigga is like arguing with this white girl and da da da. And he like putting his hand in her face, but he ain't put his hands on her. And then he like grab her a little bit. I'm like, okay, what he doing? And then he start bugging. So these niggas come over here and they try and break him up, but he still's trying to get at her. So then there's like 3 guys involved, and they're just trying to break it up. And then a 4th dude come out of nowhere, and I guess he had enough. He come in with the big boot. Like, you know when Undertaker used to do the big boot? Like, he come in with the big boot and just kick this nigga in the face while he on the ground, and he start cooking him. Like, I'm like, he wasn't hearing none of that. Let's break the fight up. He's like, nah, bro.
In the fight.
Let's put this nigga to sleep, bro. Like, and then worst off, at the end of the video, all of this happens. Old boys sleep, like slept, leaking, all of that. And old girls like over his body trying to protect him, and all that. And people really acted like, I'm like, listen, I'm here to tell y'all one thing and one thing only. I don't care. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care what that woman chooses. Like, that's not part of my decision-making process. Right? Like, where, damn, is she gonna stick with this nigga at the end of the day? I don't give a fuck what she do at the end of the day, Brody. Like, I'm just trying to get y'all to understand something. Like, that's not what this is about for me. Like, this is not about I'm gonna whoop his ass and she gonna realize he a bum and leave. Like, no, that's not what my plan was. My plan
to beat women in front of me.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is.
What you do after this, if y'all go home and make up, I don't.
Yeah, y'all go home, make up, and then he end up keep it. That's not something I can control. What I can control is whether you are bleeding when you leave. That's it. That's it. And that's all I always say. Like, it's like, I understand, like, but it's funny because I remember somebody was like, oh, man, yeah, niggas talk like that. I'm like, well, granted, luckily I haven't been put in that situation. I haven't seen it, but I have seen niggas argue with their girl in front of me, and I've stepped in like, yo, my name, what we doing? And I've had niggas almost try to fight me, but guess what? Niggas never jump stupid. That's all I'm saying. Niggas don't jump stupid, like, because that's my thing. Like, if I'm around, like, and I even it's the same with anybody. Like, if I'm around my friends and you was talking to your girl crazy, like insane, like, dog, I'm gonna step in. And if you got a problem with it, suck my dick. You're crazy. You're crazy if you think you can violate your girl in front of me. And if I say something, then you want to bark on me, brother, I will break your shit. You're crazy. You're crazy because you made this my problem. If y'all would have waited till I left, guess what? I wouldn't have known nothing. I wouldn't have known a thing. I would have left thinking. I would have left thinking y'all was happy and healthy and the home was great, and then y'all would have got into it after I left. But when you do that in front of me, you have now put me into your business. So don't ever ask me like mind your business, brother. When you argue in front of me, it's now my business. What are you talking about?
I don't understand. Like, there has to be something wrong with people that argue in public in front of other people.
Yeah, and they get mad at me because I don't want to hear or see this. Are you serious? Brother, I'm putting you to sleep. I'm putting you to sleep.
Nigga, I don't want to hear or see this. Why are you making me see your relationship fall apart in real time?
And then, like, yeah, exactly. And then you want to, again, buck with me like you finna do something. Because I'm calling, like, bro, take that. Listen, if you do this outside, I don't even give a fuck. Don't you dare. Again, this is not about saving. Like, I'm not, let me make something clear. I'm not saving people. That's not what this is about. I'm telling you, don't ever put me in the position to where now I'm like, yo, why are you talking like this? Why am I hearing you talk like this? Why are you putting your hands on her? Why are you? That should never be something I see anyone else sees. That should be your business and your business only. If you are going to beat your girl, make sure you do it by yourself. Do not make me an accomplice to this because I'm fucking somebody up. I'm leaving here with something. I promise you, if you make me an accomplice to this, I'm gonna tell you something. And if you want to get crazy with me, like, you, nigga, mind your business. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking to, because that's wild. Like, you're barking at your girl in front of me. I'm telling you, take that shit anywhere but here. And you want to get stupid with me, my nigga? Listen, I had no beef with you. If you got a problem, then jump and we can get it shaken. But other than that, like, watch y'all fucking mouth. It's real simple. I'm not like, and that's my problem, because it's like niggas will talk like, oh, you must want to. Niggas ain't like that. Niggas who put their hands on women is pussy. First off, so dumb niggas do not want it with another nigga most of the time.
Hence why most of the time when niggas step in and intervene, a nigga gets shot or stabbed.
Yeah, because they not. That's why if I step in and intervene, like I said, these are my peoples, then I'm gonna step in like on some yo, chill. Like, but if I don't know y'all, yeah. No, and you barking on your girl, and she cowering in the corner, and I see, bro, if I come in, you are asleep. That's it. I'm not, because again, like you said, I'm not gonna come, yo, chill, and then wait for you to pull something out. Mind your business, nigga. I'm not doing none of that. Sleepy time. NyQuil, off rip, nigga. You are getting a shot of Valium, a good dose. Like that's it. And then from there, I'm finna head out. Fuck
I'm
you mean?
leaving the location. This
I'm
is
finna clear the scene. Yeah, like it's like, and it's not
citizens have
no,
been saved.
and that's my thing. It's not no tough guy shit. It's not no superhero shit. It's just, bro, I'm so sick of y'all living in this world where people do shit around y'all and y'all act like nobody's shit is y'all like, it's not my business. It's not until it is. And once it is your business, y'all still will look for any way out. And I hate that shit. That shit is so pussy to me. Like y'all do this with everything. Like y'all don't feel it's your responsibility to take to show nobody else kids no love. Like nothing is your responsibility. Not even your own fucking life. I hate the lack of responsibility you motherfuckers will take on in y'all lives to where nobody matters to you but you and you barely care about yourself. I'm good off of that. I'm good off of that. I'm sorry. I feel like I have a duty. I feel like I have some fucking we are all humans. I signed a social contract with the rest of y'all niggas. I feel like at some point I have some fucking responsibility to, oh damn, I see somebody in need to at least offer some aid, nigga. Are y'all serious? If y'all don't see it that
This
way,
is
y'all don't see it
crazy.
that way. But
This nigga is describing empathy. Who the fuck has
yeah,
empathy?
right. Like I guess, like if y'all don't see it that way, y'all don't see it that way. But like I'm not, you're
Oh,
not about to.
brother, this nigga
Yeah,
cares about people.
like you are not about to paint me as no fucking Captain Save a Hoe because this ain't even about the woman for real. This is about me, nigga. You made me uncomfortable. So now I check you. And the problem is I know niggas like you. And ain't no point in checking you. You're going to sleep. If
And
if
I'm
if you
getting off this
Yeah,
train.
and I'm getting off this train next stop and we out of here. Now, if you somebody I know, like I said, it's a different approach, but it's still the same result. Don't get it twisted. I could love you to death. If you doing this in front of me and you want to bark and go crazy, bro, I will knock your fucking head off just the same. Because to me, as far as I'm concerned, if I am friends with a nigga that's barking on his girl like that, and I bring it up to him and he want to get with me, you can't. We aren't friends anymore anyway. At this
Yeah,
point,
no.
because I'll
First
never
off,
fuck with you again.
fuck even he tried to get with me, he tried to bark and fight with me. If I even see a nigga getting crazy with this girl, I'm
Yeah, I
already
don't want to. Yeah, I'm
it's already
already
top
good
for
off of
that.
you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
already good off of you. But then once you get crazy with me, it's like, all right, cool. At this point, you are now just a nigga on the street with me. So you really need to be careful because I might blindside you. I'm not fighting fair. That's one. That's another thing I will tell you. I don't have no honor in fights. Please remember that. I have no honor. None, nigga. What's that game? Dishonored? I have none, nigga. I will sneak you. I will clip. The goal is to win, nigga. You're stupid. This ain't the Geneva Convention where, okay, we can't use mustard gas. We can't, brother. I'm using it all. I will bite. I scratch. I'm gonna do whatever. You lost.
Oh
You
my
are going to lose, though. Understand that. Because my whole thing is I don't fight for recreation. I don't fight for fun. I don't fight to resolve conflict. I fight for survival and survival only. That's it. So if I'm fighting you, it's
I
because
fight for my shit. The only time I've been in a fight is when a nigga tried to rob me, and
right.
he ran. So at that point, I wasn't fighting for survival. He ran. I caught up to him, and then we got to shaking after that. So I won't say just for survival, but for
Still feel like that's up there. That's in that
it's my
realm.
shit. It's for I'm fighting for my shit. This is mine.
Yeah, my values, my standards, my properties, my possession, whatever it is. Like, and that's my whole thing. It's like, bro, if I'm fighting for that, then it's like there's no limits on the because my whole thing is right. If I'm fighting for what's right, then what's right should win, right? Which means I should do anything it takes to get the dub. I don't give
This
a
nigga
fuck.
sound like
I'm
Superman. He
not.
said, "Fight for what's right."
Hey, look, I promise you, I'm not playing. I'm playing to win. That's it. I'm fighting to win. I'm not. So that's what I mean. Like again, if you doing all that to your girl and you barking and you put, brother, by the time you know I'm there, it's too late. It's too late because, like I said, I'm not about to square up with you. Oh, yeah, you want to fight a girl, huh? You want to fight a female, huh? Put your hands on somebody your size. He pull out a gun. Nope, nope. You're asleep before I know what you got. You're asleep before I even know what you got. And if we
You know, I
get to
blame
tussling,
movies for this.
what?
What you just said is literally from a movie. Oh, you want to put your hands on a woman? Put some hands on somebody your own size.
And then literally,
That's
boom,
what.
boom, boom, boom.
That's why niggas do that now. Movies, literally.
You nigga, you get cut off head, or you want to put your hands up, like nigga, you getting banged, nigga. What are you talking about? You're getting slammed for that. Like, dog, you will get shot. So that's my whole thing. Like, I knowing that that's how people play, and people don't even fight no more. If I am fighting you, brother, man, you are not gonna get to that utility belt. I promise you. I promise you that I won't give you a chance. You're not gonna get the chance. But what else? What else we got, man? What else we got? I guess we got the Supreme Court rulings, right? It's gonna take a little bit, but fuck it. It'll be our last topic. Um, so obviously, for those who are unaware, there's been two Supreme Court decisions made this week. Some very contentious and controversial takes. Hold on, sorry. But
You feeling the C words, huh?
no, I literally was reading a headline from CNN. I'm sorry. But no, so they had a few decisions made recently. One, two. It was three decisions actually that were. I'm sure there were probably more, but three
What's the
that.
third one? I only heard about I heard about the discrimination one, and I heard about
The LGBT one, the business one.
that was the discrimination one, and then I heard about affirmative action. What was the third one?
Oh, third one was just the student loan debt one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did hear about that. My bad. I
Yeah,
only heard
yeah,
about that.
yeah. I mean, that one kind of like it came out first, and then it just
It
faded
got
away
swept
because the
under
other, yeah, it got
affirmative
swept
action.
under the
This is
rug.
so big. Yeah.
Yeah. So long story short, they essentially, and let me find the let me try to do my job here, right? Their decision on affirmative action. Let's just try to find the real thing here, right? So basically, they have reversed affirmative action, effectively ending race conscious admissions at colleges and universities across the country, right?
hmm
So this came on the heels of some Asian folks or one specific Asian student.
Well, I was about to say, let's not, let's
I
keep
I
going.
I listen, I understand that it's not all Asian folks. That's not let's make that clear. I'm not here to kick any Asian folks back in. However, this is one of your niggas, and quite a few of your folks are excited about this. So that's
Now,
something y'all need to contend with within y'all community.
now, when you said it came off the heels, I saw the video that you're talking about, but this isn't a direct result of that. It's just a coincidence that this happened like a few months after that video went out, right?
What video? I'm sorry. What do you? I don't know. Video. Are you referring to a specific video? I don't know what you mean.
Oh, you said you mentioned the Asian nigga that was complaining about affirmative action.
Yeah, no, that was a case. Like, I mean, he had a video, but like that the case involved him.
I didn't know there was a case. I just saw the video of him complaining about affirmative action. I didn't know there was a case going on.
Yeah, no. So, and this, what I want to do is I'm trying to find the cases for real, for real. But mind you, this guy was also behind the challenge that happened in 2014. I don't know if you remember this. There was a white woman in 2013 or 2014 who challenged the University of Texas
hmm
for affirmative action because she didn't get in, and she was basically arguing that affirmative action was the reason she didn't get in.
Before we go any further, I just want to say that 70%,
Talk about
seventy
it. Talk
percent
about
of
it.
the people that benefit from affirmative action are white women, and this bitch is fucking arguing that she didn't get into a college because bitch. If my blood pressure's rising, my blood pressure is rising. My blood pressure. 70% of the niggas that get affirmative action are white women, and this bitch is oh man, I'm about to have an aneurysm. My brain is hemorrhaging. I can feel it. Continue.
Okay. So, this was the case that there was an Asian student who was applying to Harvard, right?
hmm
And the Asian student did not get into Harvard. And I forgot what their qualifications were. But they didn't get into Harvard, right? And so essentially they sued, basically saying, "Well, I didn't get into Harvard because of affirmative action." And one part about this that I thought was actually genuinely hilarious is that I think so often, and this goes for really anyone but white people. I think so often the folks who are marginalized fall into this trap where we think that when someone puts the battery in our back, like we think it's for a good intention, right? Well, not even good intention, but we think we will get some wins out of this.
Right.
And it's so funny to me because this is simply something that will hurt Asian folks more than it will ever hurt niggas. Like,
Yeah,
and
because I
so
mean, niggas, affirmative action was effectively made for black people, but we benefit the least from it out of anybody that gets
right.
affirmative action.
And on top of that, when you look at first off, like Harvard has a 5% acceptance rate. Just so we're
Damn.
clear. Like, just so we're clear. So, like, getting into Harvard is already it's harder than getting into Juilliard, nigga. It's
And
very fucking difficult.
go back to what you said before. You said you weren't sure what his credentials were. People don't know if you're not a legacy, meaning your family went to Harvard and
Mhm,
they bought your way in. People
mhm,
don't know what it actually takes to get into these schools.
mhm,
Niggas that go to Harvard that actually got into the school and it wasn't like a legacy thing, they have shit. They have a 4.8 GPA. You're not gonna
mhm.
get into Harvard with a 3.2, a 3.8.
Mhm. Or even if you got a good GPA, like you have to understand, you can have a great GPA, a few extracurriculars, but guess what? You're going up against a guy who's got everything you just said, and his daddy was here before. Like you're finished. You lose.
Like people are people are blaming
Learning.
affirmative action when you just, I hate to be harsh, you weren't good enough. You didn't make the
No,
cut.
100%, 100%, because it's a
You just,
5% thing. But
yeah.
then that's the part that kills me, right? Every single time in these, this happens with affirmative action. This happened whenever a company says like they're looking to diversify. This always happens where you people who are so insanely fucking racist always make the assumption that the Negroes they let in just are unqualified. Surely they're just unqualified Negroes that they're letting into Harvard. Meanwhile, my super qualified model minority Asian brother here can't get in, and that's just uncalled. It's affirmative action, brother. Asians are already in most of these colleges are already the second biggest racial group. You have done nothing but hurt your own fucking odds, you dumb motherfucker. You are stupid. You just aren't one of the elite. You're a bum. I'm so sorry. And I think that's the issue with the model minority shit is that when you are told you are the model minority and life treats you that way, you think it ought to be
You
yours.
think you're what? Literally.
Well,
Let's just
one,
say it.
well,
Let's just
one,
call a spade a spade.
well, one, and two, you also think it's entitlement. The entitlement that comes with being the model is you think I'm not like nobody else, da, 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 so I should always receive precedence. So think about it. A black person and an Asian person can have the exact same credentials apply to Harvard. If that black person gets in, that Asian person will always feel slighted
Mhm.
because come on, I'm the model minority. My culture is to do this and to do that. We do this. How could I not make it, but you do? And it's like,
Not
well,
to
what?
mention that the whole model minority thing is literally started by white supremacists.
Yeah,
It's,
word.
like we have to like just as POC, we have to stop feeding into this shit because we're the ones they started it, but now we're the ones we're keeping it going. Honestly,
Yeah. And so that's the part that kind of kills me is that like, so explain to me, right? If I no longer have to consider race in my admissions, right? Who does that hurt more? The 2% of black people that are here in general, or the 17% of Asian people that are here? Like, like, you know, the saying where it's like you cut off your nose to spite your face.
hmm
This is like cutting off your face to spite your nose. Like you took the bigger L just to make sure we took a smaller L. And it's so disgusting how you don't see how you're just a useful idiot in this whole situation. Like, and that's the part that blows my mind because think about it. At least back in the day, you could use affirmative action as an excuse, right? You could at least I didn't get in, because it's like it's a black person taking my spot. Now what? So when you apply again and don't get in again because you're a bum and you're not good enough for fucking Harvard, apparently, when you apply again, now what? Tell me what happens now. Not to mention the part about the selectiveness of schools blows mine because dog, pretty much there's not that many schools that are this highly selective.
yeah. What
Like
is that?
like like
Harvard, Yale,
like
MIT, maybe.
95% of the schools are pretty much accepting mostly everybody. With a few exceptions, but like damn near all of y'all. So it just blows mine that y'all will purposely go to schools with 5% acceptance rates, not get accepted, and in no way do you ever accept that. Ah, damn. All right, well, either A, maybe I wasn't good enough, B, maybe they didn't see what I had to offer. No, 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 no. Those are too simple. That's much too simple. A Negro took my spot. That's what happened. A
So
Negro took my spot. A woman took my spot. It's that race shit. Because they trying to, like the DEIA and shit. They trying to diversify and shit. So it's like they got a black dude in there with like a 2.0, and he just smoked weed all day and like fucking girls and shit. But he in there because it's like, dog, you'll make up this fake Negro who is somehow less qualified than you when they're probably more. Because think about it, the nigga that makes it into Harvard. Come on now.
first off, the nigga, the black nigga that
Yeah,
makes it
the
into
black person
Harvard,
that makes it into Harvard. Yeah.
he is top
Niggas
1%
like that.
of
Yeah, that niggas like that.
like we said, the person that benefits the most from affirmative action was white women. Even though it was made for black people.
Talk about it.
But they still only accept the best of the best of the best of black people to get into. You gotta be like I said before, you have to have like a 4.8 or something crazy GPA, crazy outstanding community work. You gotta have a bunch of extracurricular activities. You gotta do all this to get into Harvard. A nigga on affirmative action has to have all that and still have affirmative action to get in.
Bro, I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at Harvard's 2023 graduating class. Wait, no. This is the demographic profile of this year's freshman, right? It is, hold on, I'm doing the math. Let me tally it up. Dog, almost 30% of Harvard's freshman class this year is Asian.
That's crazy. Affirmative action, though.
Black people are at 10%.
Affirmative action. That's how they got in there, obviously.
Dog, you guys stink. You're just not good. You're not good at this. 25% of surveyed freshmen who identified as white also reported being legacy students. Right? Hold on. 9.8% of Black and African American respondents said that they were legacy students. 9.8. I don't know if I'm reading these stats wrong, but there was 10.1% of the class is Black. Are we saying that damn near every Black graduate is a legacy admission, which would be damning, but it would
crazy.
also, I don't know if that's the case. Maybe I'm misreading the stats wrong.
Even if that is the case, that's not damning. That supports the fact that
Yeah,
they're not even using.
Yeah.
If their legacy they got in on their parents, they're not even fucking using affirmative action.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're simply using something that, guess what, will exist even after this. It's stupid. Meanwhile, guess what? Because your mama and your daddy didn't go to Harvard, you're fucked, dumbass. Now you're fucked. Like, I was just like, that is a damn shame. 15% of those who identify as Asian reported being legacy students. No, I think it's the 15 of the total number. I don't think it's the 15 of that percentage. But either way, like, it's just Harvard was a top choice school. Many of them applied to Yale as well.
Do you have the name of the person that started this case that ended up making it go to the Supreme Court?
Well, there's a guy who's been supporting all this. His name is Edward Bloom. He's a conservative activist. He's the guy we need.
That's what I was about to say. That is what I was about.
Yeah.
This is all a calculated effort.
He's a conservative legal strategist. This guy's the guy we need to.
That's what I was. That is what I was getting to. This is not just some Asian versus Black thing. This is a political strategist that pulled this off. He set this all into motion. One guy. So this isn't a Black versus Asian thing. This is one guy that is doing his job as a political strategist to sow division between POC groups.
And the funniest thing is, I'm looking at this guy's career, and his whole career was him essentially just being a bitch. Honestly, this whole guy's whole fucking career.
What was he doing being a bitch?
He lived in Texas in the 1990s when he was 30 or something at the time. He's 70 now. He was 30 something at the time, and he saw a Democratic incumbent in his district was running unopposed, so he ran against him. For the Republican Party. During the campaign, he went door knocking and realized that there was some gerrymandering going on to get a majority African American district, which is funny because you know what else is happening in Texas, fool. But you ignore that part. But eventually he lost the race, but then he files a lawsuit against the state of Texas claiming that the racially gerrymandered districts violated the
Oh,
statute.
this.
Yeah, it went to the Supreme Court. They ruled in his favor. This guy's a professional bitcher.
This I hear.
He's a
I hate this
professional
man.
bitcher. That's all he
Redacted.
does.
Redacted. Redacted.
I am a professional fucking complainer.
This guy's getting redacted.
That's all I do. That's all I do. Oh, every time something benefits niggas more than it benefits anybody else, I'm a professional fucking hater, professional complainer. Like, boy, redacted this man, nigga. Like, simple. Like, I just this is
Painful
what I mean.
redacted.
I don't care how y'all do it, dog. I don't give a
No, I
fuck.
care. I want niggas to
No,
suffer. I want niggas.
no.
Yeah,
Y'all gotta make it happen by any
I'm
means.
bringing back medieval torture methods.
I don't need them. I want it
I
quick.
do.
I want them out.
See, that's the difference between me and you. I want niggas to suffer. You just want niggas
Hey,
to
look,
go.
the
It's
end
not
result. End result.
What was that tweet that said it's not enough that you are blocked? I want this nigga in
Yeah, I
physical
want.
pain.
Yeah.
It's not enough that you niggas are off this mortal coil. I want you to suffer on the way out.
Yeah, look, I'm ready to get back to it. So once you gone, you gone. I'm ready to speed that up as fast as possible. In fact, like I want you going as quickly as possible. The quickest means, bro. If I had a way to literally just send you straight up, boy, I'd get you up out of here. So, but that's the affirmative action one, right? So, listen, I wish Asian folks who are applying for college the best of luck. You may notice your chances are worse now than they were before. Thank some of your brethren.
Well, so one question: affirmative action is more than just college. Is this ruling only for colleges?
It's
Do
for
jobs still have
It's-
jobs still have affirmative action?
So funny enough, this is just for college, collegiate, and university admissions because there was an option to extend this to like military admissions, and then they declined to do so.
Whoa, no! I wonder why they would decline
They
that.
declined to.
Oh,
Well,
man.
they said, "Well, come on now, we need DeAndre on the front line. Like, let's be real here.
We need the meat shields out there. Come on now.
We need not Demetrius. I thought that was a name. Demetrius.
Demise.
Demetrius.
Nah, that's wild.
With the apostrophe Demetrius. Oh man. Oh,
That's the title.
I'm about to
That's the
spell it in the
title.
chat. Demetrius. Demetrius. But no, so the second one was oh man, what was this one? This one was actually even more outrageous than the first one. And hold on,
Is this the gay marriage one?
Yes, it is. Let me pull up my sources.
You ain't got sources. You don't be talking off the dome. Come on now.
I don't. Can't say that I do.
Crazy.
Let's see. Come on. We getting there. So this thing. So okay, here we go. The suit centers on a woman named Lori Smith, right? She is a website designer who does not want to provide her services for gay weddings because of religious objections, whatever. In 2016, she says a gay man requested her services for help with his upcoming wedding. All that shit. In court filings, her lawyers produced a copy of the inquiry, but Stewart, who requested Stewart is the guy who allegedly filled out the thing, right? Said in an interview that he never sent the message, even though it correctly lists his email address and phone number. He also has been happily married to a woman for the last 15 years. In fact, until he received a call this week from a reporter from the magazine, Stewart had no idea he had somehow been tied up in a case that made it to the Supreme Court.
Nah, that's fucking wild.
So just to clarify, right? The U.S. Supreme Court basically ruled in favor of a Christian web design business owner who refuses to provide services for same-sex weddings, who literally never provided these services. Like, that's the part that blows my mind, where I'm just like, so wait,
way
you can
worse
make...
than I thought it was.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's the part that blew mine, because I was just like, dog, like, so you can do this, and at no point did you actually, like, literally, this is all made up. It was fully made up.
I'm about to get in conspiracy theory land and say this was planned.
I mean,
that woman was a plant.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I mean,
woman that filed the case against a
honestly,
fake nigga.
But I tell you what, it's not. You don't even have to sell me. I'll buy it. Off rip, I will buy it. literally based off the fact that this nigga is a real person with a real email and real phone number, but is married to a woman, and you just dragged them into a case that they had nothing. No, yeah, I wholeheartedly
Yeah, like
believe somebody
there's
was just
no
like, "Yo,
way.
present the case, present it to a lower court in this city or in this state. They'll say no. They'll bump it up to us. We will be good."
Yeah, because it's not making sense to me. He how did y'all get his name? How did there's a lot of shit that doesn't make sense here. Well, none of this shit makes sense.
Yeah, and the fact that like I just how can you rule on a fake fucking case? That's the part I'm not getting.
None of this shit makes any sense. Clarence Thomas is still on the bench, even though he took bribes from billionaires. So I mean, none of this shit matters. I mean, come on, we know this shit don't matter.
And I don't get me wrong. Now, the other part I will say is that on an individual level, I simply would never want to give my money to a business that would discriminate based on my orientation. So there's that. And that was the question I had earlier, which is that's when I found out this was a fake case because I kept thinking to myself, why was this guy like fighting for the right to? Because this woman, if I'm not mistaken, was suing I don't even know what the case was.
That
Like, was she suing the
actually,
Supreme Court?
that's a good point because that was my first thought too. My first thought was, why would you even want to do business with somebody
Like,
that
yeah, like my
that
thought was
was
like,
legitimately
yeah.
that was my thought when I heard this.
Yeah, so then once you find out, well, the guy had nothing to do with it. He's straight. He has a wife, and it's like, oh, so you just made that up. And so the decision suggests that artists, photographers, videographers, and writers are among those who can refuse to offer what the court called expressive services if doing so would run contrary to their beliefs.
See, I don't
Um,
even know what this ruling would do because if I go to a place and they say no, no niggas, yeah, I'm gonna be mad, but I'm not gonna want them to. I don't want to give these niggas money anyway.
mhm.
So this ruling, it's I don't understand because you're giving people the right to discriminate, but if people go there and then they discriminate against them, they'll be like, all right, I don't want to give money to a racist anyway.
But I
So I'm
think
not
this is just laying the groundwork, right?
for
Because
something bigger coming, yeah.
well, yeah, for a lot bigger things coming, like because you just start here, and then now you set the precedent for, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. So I tell you what, we set the precedent. Now we're in a position to where, all right, only writers, people with expressive professions, right, like speech-based professions, those are the niggas who are allowed to discriminate. Well, you start there, and then once you start there, you start asking, you wait a few years, then you ask yourself, hey guys, I got a question. Why stop there?
Mhm.
And again, like I definitely and you gotta understand these are lifetime appointments. So it's like these niggas have all day.
Dog, we need to somebody need to redacted redacted.
but the craziest part is more than everything, that woman who owns a design business, she currently doesn't even create wedding websites.
This is all a plant. This is no.
It is. No, it is.
Oh my
100% is.
god.
100%. Like so you are suing based off of something that you don't even currently do that this guy never actually really hit you up to do. Okay. Like because that's my whole thing. Like, why would you get this request for something if you don't do it? Because you made the request up. Like because you made the request up.
You've heard of industry plants? Well, we got political plants. We in the future now.
They got another one. The court in a unanimous decision used the case of a Christian mail carrier who didn't want to deliver Amazon packages on Sunday to solidify protections for workers who asked for. I'm
Eat
sorry. I'm kind of
fucking dick.
yeah. I'm gonna say I'm against this one because my nigga, you work for fucking Amazon, bro. You work for Amazon. Deliver my fucking package on a Sunday, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care about none of that, nigga. Like,
Literally.
nigga, you
Uh,
better you better pull up a church on YouTube, nigga. Fuck what you talking about? I'm dead serious. Go on YouTube, look some shit up, type in something Baptist church, nigga, and get to it. Dog, what are you talking about? Now,
nah.
granted, if you had already worked this out, like this is your day off or something, then that'd have been a different story. But like, I just I don't see how you can do that. Like, you can be like, all right, I'm gonna work Monday, or no, I'm gonna work like a Wednesday through, I don't know, I don't know, like, 5 days, but like one of the days is Sunday. Like I'm working
Yeah,
that schedule. It's like, well, nigga, if you knew you was a Christian and you didn't bring that up during the interview, like, yeah, I can't work
that
Sunday.
doesn't even make sense. Yeah,
Then, because I've
but
done that before.
you gonna sue? You gonna take shit to the Supreme
Yeah,
Court just
exactly.
to,
Like, because
no.
I've literally done that before. I've applied to jobs and like, are there any days you can't work? I'm like, I can't work Sunday, like during the day, like early morning. I can't work on Sunday morning or like Sunday, like early afternoon. I can work Sunday like after 3, 4, 5 p.m. But like I've said that straight up, like, and I was willing to walk on that shit. Like, well, nigga, if you can't accommodate that, bitch, I'll walk. Because I understand if you need a nigga that's gonna work Sunday morning and I can't work Sunday morning, then I'm not the nigga for you. But it's like, nigga, it's Amazon. They need a nigga to deliver every day. There's no Christmas. I need that. Thanksgiving. I need that. Labor Day. I need that. I need that every day, dog. I don't care what day it is, what holiday it is, nigga. I need you to
Amazon
deliver
will
every day.
literally Amazon deliver on holidays. That's fucking hilarious.
I'm sure that they do. They might say they don't, but I'm positive they do, nigga.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've gotten a package on Thanksgiving or Christmas Day, but I can see it happening.
But the part that actually blows mine is I don't mind people deny. Like, here's my problem. I remember back in the day, right? Not even back in the day, but the way that they changed the laws, right? If you wanted to be racist to people, right, you could still do so. You simply couldn't be outwardly racist, like for a job, right? Like,
Hmm.
if it was a nigga applying, and I didn't want to hire black folks, I could not hire you, and it could be because you're black. I just simply wouldn't tell you that. Like, y'all are fighting for a world where people can just tell you outright, I don't want to fucking do work with facts. Like, I don't want to do work with these gay people. I don't want to do that. And it's just like, oh, um, that's like you're fighting for the right to just
That's weird.
yeah,
That's
like you are fighting
suspicious.
for that's suspicious. Like you are fighting for the right to outwardly not even have to like mask it, like I don't think it's gonna be the right fit. I'm a little booked. My schedule. You said when did you say you wanted it? Oh, I didn't say a date. Oh well, whatever day you want it, it's probably gonna be booked. So
It's like
um
you said. They're laying the groundwork for more stuff to come. Soon they're gonna be overturning the fucking Civil Rights Act.
yeah,
Soon we're gonna be
yeah.
seeing colored water fountains.
Mm-mm-mm. And you know they're gonna be ass too.
I mean, when's the last time anybody used the water fountains? I mean,
Not sure. I'll be using them shits.
you got.
I
I
don't I
was
don't
gonna
I
try to
don't be
come up with a disease, but you got them. Whatever
I
they
don't
is, you got them.
I don't be using them shits for real.
I would hope not. I'm
I
glad
would
you
hope
are.
not. But yeah, man.
Anything?
That's you said what? Go
No, I was just about to say anything you want to say before we lose our rights, or
ahead.
we're gonna be property again soon. So I mean, get it all out now, right?
I guess so. I ain't got nothing. I'm Gucci. Anything? Anything else?
Nah, it's just I'm just saying I'm built different if slavery come back. I mean, I'm not gonna be a slave, so
You won't? Oh, sorry.
nah. Were you?
Oh. No. Well, why would I do that?
Me a slave? Nah, but come on now. Nah, chill, bro.
Type shit you think I'm on, boy? What?
Ain't no way. Nah, no way.
Ain't no, ain't no way, bro. What? Nah, I'd never do that.
Slavery is
Oh,
a choice. Kanye West.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
he
You said I apologize. I'm so sorry,
he didn't know I was gonna say that. That wasn't part of the script.
y'all. All right, well, shit, that's all it is, man. I tell you what, we're gonna carry over a few things for next week. We had a few things we could have. Actually, I'm. You know what? We got everything because the shit that we skipped over. Besides maybe the TV shows, I don't really care about any of this.
Yeah, nah. I do want to talk about Bird Box just because I'm excited for that, but we can say that for next week. It's not even out yet, so it's no point. There's no point in even talking about it until we see it, I guess, honestly.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. But hey, look, man, it's been another one. Been a good one. Episode 101, folks. We out of here. Peace.